up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to HCS Pro Talk, your weekly Halo esports podcast. My voice did a little cracky crack there. That was fun. You're welcome, chat. This is episode 342 for the week of June 2nd, 2024. The title of this week's episode is Back in Championship Form, the HCS London 2024 post show. My name is Josh, aka JK Fire, and this week I'm joined by the man in the designer ripped hoodie, Will, aka I am Mr. Mayhem. Will, how are you doing at our normally scheduled program time?
I'm doing all right, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well as well. Obviously, we are both still very tired, it seems. Sleep schedule's trying to get back into check, but that's okay because now that we're back on our regularly scheduled time after the after party streams have concluded, we have a lot to talk about, Will. We got a lot to talk about. We talked a lot about it already during the after party shows. If you missed those, they're on podcast services on YouTube right now. Go check them out if you haven't already. What's up, Collect? Did you guys have fun? We had fun. Did you have fun, Collect? I hope you guys had fun. Collect, what happens with Proton now? I'm just going to start poking you right now.
No.
Yeah. I'm sorry I had Quadrant over you guys. I apologize. When I see the Mind Freak jerseys at LAN, I sang that in my head. Hell yeah, Volk. Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. Ashley says I passed out so hard last night. Oh, trust. As soon as we were done with this, we were... I don't know about you, Will. Let's conk the fuck out.
Yeah.
Collect says, I mean, crowd buff, whatever. Cool. So sick. I did say that would be a factor, did I not? Did say that would have a little bit of a factor behind it.
The freaking drums and the trumpet.
We need them at every event. We need them at every fucking event. We'll talk about that later as well. Don't worry. All right, Will, do you want to know what's on this week's episode of the show?
What do we got?
Oh my God, it's our HCS London 2024 post show!
Who would have thought?
What?
So who would have thought?
Not me. All right. If there's not a trumpet at Atlanta, I'm going to be sad. Yeah, like I said, fucking Arlington fucked up twice. They didn't have the drum there. London's like, we'll one up you. We got drums and trumpets. What the fuck's up? All right. Before we get into our topic, we have a few things in the competitive news top to talk about. So let's just get into the competitive news. First and foremost, regarding Europa Halo, this is by Kalen. He says, after much consideration, I'm open to hearing from parties who wish to take over Europa Halo and continue to develop European Halo. Any interest can be made via email at haloeuropa@gmail.com. So if you're any at all interested, go feel free to check in with him. GT Halo teases their next LAN. This is by GT Halo, and they state a Toronto-based LAN, you say? Stay tuned. So if you're in the Toronto area, make sure to go check that out whenever it gets announced, because we'll talk about it on the show as well. Minty Fresh, welcome back. Touch base with T-Squared, HCS London blog and updates. This is by Straight Rippin'. Scouting to sign a Halo team to Straight Rippin'. One of the priorities for this season was not only to bring the Straight Rippin' brand back to Halo esports, but also to sign a team and compete on main stage once again. I'm actively talking to and scouting teams that I feel will be a great fit, and we hope to have a team on board before the end of the year. So there's that. HCS London, they were not able to attend. He did say that they will do everything they can to make it to an international event next year and beyond. Additional merchandise. We're actively meeting with more merchandise designers and manufacturers to further extend our merchandise and level up our quality even further. The conversations have been promising so far, and we can't wait to share more with you soon. We see all of you asking about new and improved Straight Rippin' jerseys and other Pro Line items. We are working hard to check that box as soon as possible. Hell yeah. And Halo content production and events. For the last few months, we've been fleshing out a handful of new content ideas that we want to bring to the Halo community. After London, we'll be announcing one of our new broadcast initiatives. I don't want to give away too many details yet, but we're excited to put on our first show, and we can't wait to see you in chat. Stay tuned for that. Shal, welcome back. What's up, John? Welcome back as well. Next up, this was announced during the tournament. As a matter of fact, ranked maps and playlists are coming soon. This is by the HCS. 2 permanent ranked playlists are coming on Tuesday, June 4th. That is tomorrow as of time of recording this episode. Ranked Slayer and Ranked Doubles will be permanent ranked playlists in the game on Tuesday, June 4th. This means, along with the ranked rotational playlists, there will be 4 ranked playlists available for players at any given time. Ranked Arena, Ranked Slayer, Ranked Doubles, and the ranked rotational at the time. And there are 2 new ranked maps coming in summer of 2024. No official date has been given as of yet. That includes Origin, which is a remake of Coliseum for Halo 5 from Halo 5 by Hi, I'm Mike, Karmaplex, and Dark Maiming. And then we have Fortress, which is a brand new map made by Mick Rips and Ethan Hibbs. So go ahead and check those out. You can find them in the content browser, and you can play them right now if you'd like. And then they will be added to ranked at some time during the summer of 2024. Keep in mind that while HCS, like the word had been flirted around with, there is still no official confirmation as to if and when they will be added to the competitive map pool. As of right now, it is confirmed for ranked play only, and we'll have to wait and see what happens next. Then, an article released right before London, as a matter of fact, the HCS Split 2 Halo World Championship Qualification Update. This is by the HCS. Here are the qualification paths for the Halo World Championship 2024. The top 8 from the Salt Lake City Major, regardless of region. Okay? So for those who maybe are out of the loop as to what's going on right now for these majors, the top 6 from Arlington, regardless of region, would be the top 6 seeds going into London. The top 6 from London will be those respective seeds going into Atlanta. The top 6 at Atlanta will be the next 6 seeds for Salt Lake City. And now, for the Halo World Championship, the top 8 from Salt Lake, regardless of region, will earn their qualification for the World Championship. Then, the top 4 in HCS points post the Salt Lake City event. These 4 teams will be determined by global HCS points, aka points earned at LAN events. And then finally, the other top 4 from the last chance qualifiers. Now, what are the last chance qualifiers? The last chance qualifiers are a set of 4 single elimination best of 5 playoff matches. The winners of these 4 matches will earn their spots as the final 4 teams in the Halo World Championship. Once the 8 teams participating in the last chance qualifiers have been determined and seeded, the matches will be played on LAN and broadcasted Saturday night at the Salt Lake City Major. Okay? So I'll read the rest of this and kind of get to the point here. The format is simple. Win the match and qualify for Worlds. Here is how the 8 teams participating in the Lance Chats qualifiers will be determined. Pool play teams that have not yet qualified for Worlds. The next highest open bracket placing teams. And then all pool play teams will be seeded higher than teams qualifying from the open bracket. Makes sense. So, to put a bow on that, you qualify for Worlds based off LAN. No, online is not being taken into consideration here. Obviously, points will determine seeding for like these last chance qualifiers, don't get me wrong. But how you perform on LAN is where it's going to really matter. Because again, top 8 from Salt Lake, no matter your region, you're in Worlds. Top 4 in points post the SLC event, they'll be determined by global HCS points earned on LAN, not online. And then the top 4 from the last chance qualifiers, which will be taking place on LAN and broadcasted Saturday night at the Salt Lake City Major. Fuck yes. Will, anything you wanted to add?
No, I like that it's going off of LAN placings because online's online. A team can't pick up Monster for SLC and then automatically qualify for this last chance qualifier for Worlds.
Yes.
So thank God that's not going to be a thing. And then I'm just thinking of like teams like, let's just take Native Gaming,
Yeah.
They had the barcode switch mid-season, all of the issues with rosters, and they're like down on points.
Yeah.
So like it makes me wonder if they're going to be, they'll probably be in the last chance qualifiers,
Yeah. We also have to keep in mind, and you understand this too, is that there's a giant point decay now that London is completed. And we know that rosters are going to be switching up and whatnot. We don't know how many, but we know that rosters will change. This happens every year. And then once that is determined, then we get back into those open series taking place. Teams start getting points again. We move forward, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, with the way that they've been so far, that it definitely sounds like they'd be one of those teams. I mean, yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see. Zig with the 5-month resub. You get a woo! Thank you so much for the resub. Greatly appreciated. And welcome back. And then Simple's POV. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the live show. Yeah. Let me see here.
What team was Monster on for?
He was on that Fluffy Aimers, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Because King Nick was going to be on there, and then he didn't travel to London.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't make it out of open. So they picked up Shock as a sub for the event. We'll talk about it in the after party. We'll talk about during the topic as well. But yeah, they picked up Shock as a sub, as a last second sub. Thank God he was able to compete. Yeah, they didn't make it out of open. So.
Gotcha. I was trying to find his KD for the event, but.
What's up, Farrell? Welcome back. But what we do know is that he did play mouse and keyboard in open. So he did do that. Okay. So yeah, it is. Again, not to toot my own horn or anything, but like literally, I've been fucking shouting this from the rooftops, is that online doesn't fucking matter. And then lo and behold, qualifications for the biggest fucking tournament of the year, and they're like, yeah, online isn't fucking being taken into consideration at all. Like, thank Christ. Yeah. Seriously, thank God. The only thing that could make this better, like literally the only thing that can make this better, in my opinion, Will, is if they, and I know it's not going to happen, and I know like schedule-wise it'd be a nightmare, but not having it 16 teams instead of 12. Like full every team moves forward regardless of your pool placing. Yeah, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like I said, programming wise, it'd be really difficult to do. I understand why they don't, but that's the only thing in my opinion that would make it better. HCS is finally listening to me. No, they're not listening to me at all. But they hear me. They fucking hear me. That's for sure. Colonel Flom, missed the entire tournament, so your after party pods are very much appreciated in order to catch up with what happened. Great recaps and everything. Thank you. Thank you. Fuck. Thank you for taking the time to listen and watch. Appreciate it. I should say also, so yeah, like Colonel Flom stated, we did do the after party for London. Every night of the tournament, we recapped that day's events, and we watched a little gameplay during the second and third days because the first day we really didn't have time. But please know that because this episode is dedicated to the post show of London, we have a lot to talk about. So we're not going to be watching a lot. That was mainly dedicated for the after party. So please go check those out. I implore you to go check those out, because while we will be checking a few things out today, the majority of like gameplay specifics, watching full games, so on and so forth. Watching full series is during the after party. So please go check those out if you haven't already. All right. Petey, you really want fucking a toe notes command made? Bastard. God damn it. But Will, that's it for the competitive news. Which means it's time for Rostermania!
All right, just a few things going on since our last show. First, we have the official announcement from Cloud9 where they announced the release of Diagram and Rami and the signing of Suspector and Sab. King J has announced he's a free agent, and then also Super CC. So anyone looking to get those guys, they're out there.
Yes.
And that's it for Rostermania this week.
Thank you very much, Will. And then we don't have upcoming tournaments. No offense to New Cabo, but like we have no upcoming tournaments. We have no scrim recaps because the only thing that did happen over the weekend is our topic of the HCS London 2024 post show, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It is finally time to talk about the fucking event. So here we go. Let's start out, Will. I'm going to hit the button again anyway, because I feel like it's kind of worthwhile and we haven't used it in a little while. You know, it's kind of fun. So we're going to start off with some Rostermania. Will, what happened?
I mean, right before the event, King Nick was like, nah, Fluffy Aimers. King Nick did not travel to London. Therefore, due to the rule based on pool play qualification, Fluffy Aimers would have to play have their pool play spot forfeited to Native Gaming. Fluffy Aimers would proceed to compete within the open bracket with Shock as a sub.
And they would proceed to not get through the open bracket as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nathan. We will wait for an official confirmation if they post it on Twitter. But thank you very much and welcome to the live show. All right. So here's how we're going to do this. Again, a lot of what we're going to talk about today, because we're going to recap the entire event, but a lot of what we talked about today was already present within the after party streams that we did. Therefore, I'm going to be cutting to those every now and again, because since we already talked about them at length, I think it'd be easier if we just cut to that to hear our thoughts on them, and then we can come back and move on. One of those situations is the complexity getting disqualified because of Spartan's fuck up. So that situation, for those who don't know, Spartan tampered with a tournament official SSD, and therefore, after investigation, got complexity disqualified from the tournament. And so here's what we're going to do, because like I said, we talked about this at length on both day 1 and day 2 of the after party. We read through the HCS statement. We read through the complexity statement. We provided our thoughts. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut to the after party, and we're going to watch the reading through of the HCS statement, the reading through of the complexity statement, and then Will and I talking about it a little bit, and then we'll get back to us. So without further ado, let me make sure I have this like actually properly configured, because God knows I fuck this up all the time.
I thought you had it ready to go before the show.
Oh, I do. We're good. I see to full screen it. That's all. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah. See, there it is. Just had to fucking full screen it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the HCS statement that had previously been read on the after party. So today, shortly after the matches had finished for the day, there was a Waypoint article that released, and it's titled HCS London Major 2024 Competitive Ruling. Okay. And I'm going to read it word for word. So background. During pool play at the HCS London Major, Complexity were on stage preparing for their match against FaZe when during routine equipment checks, the administration was led to discover that Spartan's SSD was not the official tournament SSD. Upon further inspection, it was discovered that the software on the SSD was not provided by the administration and furthermore contained new, unapproved software as well as other changes to the existing software in an effort to increase the performance of the PC. No software of any other nature was discovered. When talked to, Spartan cooperated with the investigation. So just real quick, there was discussion around whether or not this had to do with controller overclocking. Nothing here states that verbatim. Okay? Nothing within this article states that. The ruling. Competitive integrity and fairness are paramount to the HCS, our partner teams, players, and community. Due to the tampering of official league-provided equipment and the nature of gaining a competitive advantage in the tournament as a result of tampering, Complexity have been disqualified from the tournament. I'm not going to read through the rules here. You can feel free to do so if you'd like to, but they are clearly stated. What I am going to read through is the tournament update. Due to the disqualification of Complexity, the following tournament rulings have been made. Complexity receive an automatic last place in Pool C. The match that took place between FaZe and Complexity will be ruled as a 3-0 map count in favor of FaZe. Their match record is 2-0 headed into day 2. The match that did not take place between Cloud9 and Complexity will be ruled as a 3-0 map count in favor of Cloud9. Their match record is 1-1 headed into day 2. There will still only be one team from the open bracket that will qualify for Pool C following the conclusion of open bracket play, which we already know who it's going to be. We'll talk about that in a minute. They will receive an automatic match victory over Complexity with a map count of 3-0 and will enter pool play with a record of 1-0. Complexity will receive 0 HCS points and 0 prizing. Okay, so that was the reading through the HCS statement. Now, the next day, Complexity had released a statement of their own, and this is the reading through of that statement, along with a little discussion that Will and I had during the after party a couple days ago. So without further ado, here is that statement to conversation. The Complexity Halo statement. Yesterday evening, HCS admins informed Complexity that our Halo Infinite team would be disqualified from the London Major due to one of our players, Spartan, tampering with official league equipment in an effort to gain a competitive advantage. Immediately upon and being informed of the situation, Complexity began to gather information from all applicable parties, including seeking perspective from HCS tournament administration. In an effort to provide as much detail on the tampering incidents as possible, we have summarized the series of events from Spartan's perspective. During the HCS London Media Day on Thursday the 30th, Spartan, among the other Complexity Halo members, were assigned a solid-state drive for use throughout the event. Immediately after receiving the SSD, the team set up their practice PCs with said SSDs and conducted a series of practice scrimmages against ITB, Into the Breach, the other team in the practice room. During the scrimmages, Spartan was experiencing PC performance issues, including lower than anticipated frame rates. Spartan did not notify a tournament admin of these performance issues, instead opting to take the below actions in an effort to improve the performance of his SSD and PC. As for this note right here, I don't fucking care. Following the scrimmages, Spartan took the following actions in an effort to improve the performance of his SSD and PC. Spartan reformatted the provided SSD Windows installation utilizing a USB Windows image of his home PC setup. This Windows image featured the following modifications. MSI Afterburner was installed to set fan curves and disable ULPS, ultra-low power saving mode, to optimize hardware performance. Various Windows settings, services, power settings, and device settings were altered, similar to those dictated by the optimizations. Various registry changes were made, similar to those dictated by the optimizations. Following the above actions, Spartan returned his SSD to the tournament admins, and as is normal protocol between tournament days. Note that the tournament admins maintain possession of the SSD until it is issued again the next tournament day, ensuring that there is no tampering or other impropriety. Friday morning, the team, including Spartan, returned to the practice room, notifying a tournament admin that they were ready to resume practice. The tournament admin brought each player's SSDs to the practice room and mounted the SSDs to respective players' practice computers. The team, including Spartan, conducted a series of practice scrimmages against Native. Following the conclusion of the practice scrimmages, the team was on a break for approximately 45 minutes, during which some of the members remained in the practice room and some watched matches from the event crowd. During the latter portion of this period, a tournament admin collected the SSDs from each player's practice computer. The team, including Spartan, took the main stage and began to set up for their match against FaZe Clan. The tournament admins mounted each SSD to the respective player's stage computer. As part of this setup, tournament admins went to each player's PC to ensure that a white noise program was enabled. When the tournament admin performed this check on Spartan's PC, it was discovered that the white noise program was not installed, as Spartan had reformatted the Windows installation on his SSD. The tournament admin decided that Spartan's SSD would be swapped for a fresh SSD as a result of the above discovery. Spartan's computer had a fresh SSD installed, and the tournament admins retained Spartan's initial SSD. Spartan subsequently set up on this new SSD by updating the display refresh rate, changing a controller input setting in Steam, and utilizing a tuning preset in AMD Adrenalin program. The team and Spartan played the match versus FaZe Clan on the main stage with the newly issued fresh SSD, not the re-imaged SSD. Tournament admins removed the SSD from each player's main stage PC and transported the SSDs to the practice room, where tournament admins mounted the SSDs to each player's respective practice PC. The team went on break for the next few hours, with some members returning to the hotel, getting dinner, or staying in the practice room to watch matches or prepare for the upcoming match. In preparation for the Cloud9 match, the tournament admin once again gathered the SSDs from each player's practice PC and transported the SSDs to the feature stage, where the tournament admin mounted each SSD to the respective player's stage computer. The team took the stage, set up as usual, and notified tournament admins that they were ready. The tournament admins asked the team to join the game lobby. After a brief delay in which the match did not proceed as normal, Spartan and Coach Ashes were asked by a tournament admin to follow them to a separate room. Waiting in this room were a number of tournament administrators, including HCS leadership. Spartan and Ashes were informed that an investigation had been conducted regarding equipment tampering and that there appeared to be a serious competitive integrity issue. The tournament administrators asked Spartan to recount what exactly had happened, a request that he complied with. Immediately after this discussion, Spartan and Ashes were informed of the HCS competitive ruling to disqualify the Complexity roster. Subsequently, the rest of the Complexity roster was brought up to the room to inform them of the issue and decision. The match versus Cloud9 was not played. A final note on the details of Spartan's perspective. Spartan maintains that he at no time brought an outside SSD to the event and swapped it for the tournament-issued SSD, only that he re-imaged the SSD provided by the tournament. HCS tournament admins are confident the SSD is not part of their competitive fleet because it is a different memory size as compared to their normal SSDs. To the extent of our knowledge, this is the only point where Spartan's and HCS's perspectives materially differ. I am going back to dual cam for a brief second, because the one thing I want to add to this is, from inside sources that have communicated to us, Complexity had recently been informed that the HCS admins were wrong, and it was indeed their own, aka HCS's and EE's SSD. Spartan at no point in time had brought his own. First and foremost, Complexity respects the competitive ruling issued by the HCS, and we appreciate their cooperation to determine the facts and outcomes in a timely manner. Competitive integrity is paramount to our industry, and actions that detract from fair play cannot be tolerated at events at any size. Our belief is that the spirit of Spartan's actions were not intentionally malicious or deceitful, but his actions were careless, unprofessional, and violated rules outlined in the HCS statement. Our finding is that Spartan, without informing a tournament admin, took significant and unusual steps to modify software on his SSD in order to increase PC performance, resulting in a competitive advantage. Our finding echoes the HCS statement that no additional prohibited software outside of the PC performance modifications was detected on Spartan's SSD. We appreciate that Spartan cooperated fully with the HCS in complexity fact-finding missions, but that does not absolve him of the actions detailed above. In light of the above findings, Complexity has opted to suspend Spartan from our Halo Infinite roster pending final ruling from HCS after the London Major. We will provide further updates on additional actions in the near future. He fucked around. He found out. Okay? There you go. He did not bring his own SSD, but he also did not communicate to anybody what he was doing ahead of time, and he did it anyway. Will, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, Voodoo Man said it in chat. He didn't bring his own SSD, but he brought something that was able to transfer his PC settings, his Windows installation onto that SSD.
Yes.
So it was intentional, in my opinion. He had to have that imaging software.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was thought through before the tournament even took place. You know what? I think the ruling is just.
Agreed.
Yeah, there's got to be more coming from HCS on either a suspension or I don't know what else. If he's just out. I mean, anyone else caught quote unquote cheating in other leagues, sorry.
You're good.
Have been banned for forever in some instances. So it all depends on how HCS views this, on what actions they decide to take. And it's a wait and see for us.
Exactly.
I can agree that he's probably done for at least the rest of the season. He didn't have wall hacks. He had he tampered with an SSD, installed his own Windows MSI Afterburner, which is still against the rule set to change the official tournament hardware. So.
And
whether it be 10 extra 10 or 40 frames, it's still against the rule set outlined in the handbook.
All of this could have literally been mitigated if he just brought the issues up to an admin. If he literally just brought the issues up to an admin.
Yeah.
They gave him a new SSD anyway. Like if he would have brought I'm not fucking kidding. Like I'm mad at this because he knowingly did it. I don't care if it was malicious or not. He knowingly did it when he could have literally, and I understand that he, like, maybe he may think, and I don't want to speak for him, but maybe he thinks that he's not going to get the answer he's looking for. He's not going to get the help he's requesting, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, if he would have brought it up to a fucking admin ahead of time in the fucking practice room before a match had taken place, I mean, like, hey man, these are the things that I'm experiencing. This is really like, this really isn't working well. Like, is there anything we can do? And maybe the tournament admin's like, oh yeah, here you go. Here's a fresh SSD for you. Let's just get your settings moved over. Like, what the fuck? He fucked around and found out. Will, like you said, I think the ruling is just. Clearly, we'll wait to see if any other information comes out from the HCS. But I feel bad for his teammates.
Yeah.
That's it. I feel bad for his teammates. I don't fucking feel bad for him.
I feel bad for the Sentinel squad from Arlington. I feel bad for these guys on Complexity, especially since they were gaining steam a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
See, I don't, like I said, I don't feel bad for Spartan at all. I feel bad for his teammates. I feel bad for Complexity. They bring him on for this event. Like, Jesus Christ. And there you go. So like I said, we already talked about it at length. We're not going to talk about it any further because it doesn't need to be talked about anymore. Now we just wait to see what happens in the aftermath of it all. But yeah, he cheated. Got reprimanded for it. So there you go. There you go.
Yeah. When I when I say I feel bad for Sentinels, it's just like at Arlington, they went, Sparty had those issues. He basically just ruined any points they would have gained and could have got them higher seeding or whatever it may be. So,
Homer, I'll just say this. They should never have to bring their own Windows image with them anywhere. You're not playing at your PC at home. Like, it's never the intention that you're playing with the same settings as your PC at home. These are tournament regulated PCs that are supposed to have the same settings, the same updates, the same drivers, everything. It's supposed to be similar. What's up, Tom? Welcome back. No, and Homer, that's the thing, is that, like, in the complexity statement, obviously he was a teammate for the team at the time, but in that statement he says, like, the complexity states that they don't believe that Spartan did it maliciously or whatnot, but it doesn't fucking matter. The fact of the matter is he cheated. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. So like I said, we're not going to talk about it any further. You guys can feel free to. All I ask is that you be respectful. Because again, I said this during the after party. If you're not going to be respectful about it, then get the fuck out. Simple as that. Because we have some results to talk about. We have some games to talk about. We have some actual good Halo to talk about. And that's kind of the whole fucking point. So, like I said, to put a bow on it all, we're waiting to see what the aftermath is of the situation. That's it.
Yeah.
Will, I put these towards the top of this because these did happen, like, sprinkled out throughout the event. We have the side tournaments that had taken place. There were 4 of them spread across 2 different days, Friday and Saturday, as a matter of fact. Will, did you want to run through those results, please?
Sure. We'll start off with the Halo 5 2v2 side tournament that took place in 3rd, 4th. We had Darkest Buddies and Stoned. We don't have gamer tags that were put in for these, so it's what it is. It's
because on the start on the Start GG website where all the brackets are located, it's all of every single time. It's just like HCS player 1, HCS player 2, all that stuff. So it's really difficult unless they name their team, the players that are in the team. I won't know.
Yeah. So. Second went to BH3 and first went to Cat Smile. On the Halo 3 2v2 and 3rd, 4th was Buffint. And what is that? Shirikama? Shirikama? Second went to Duludude. These goddamn names. And first went to Mystic Customs. In the Halo 3 4v4, we had Into the Breach in Room 514 in 3rd, 4th. Second went to Queen's Customs, and first went to Mystic Customs. And then the Halo Infinite 2v2, 3rd, 4th went to Hold Forward and Decepticons. Second went to Uzi Twins, and first was Descendant and Reverbed. So there you go.
And see, they included the names in the team name, so it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, it's a smart thing to do.
It's a great thing to do. Also, I'll say this. Homer says, do you think other rosters will change? Yes. I don't know about Bittersweet, but, like, yes, rosters are going to change no matter what.
Yeah, I think we're in for some Rostermania coming up within, I don't know, at least the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be relatively soon. Definitely relatively soon. Dextrip, welcome. Yes, we did talk about Spartan. Yes, we did.
I don't know if it's technically a side tournament, but it's always a part of the majors, the FFA.
Yep.
8th place went to Wile E. Coyote, taking home $100. Looney came in 7th, taking home $125. Dark Matter in 6th with $150. For Atticus in 5th, taking home $200.
P United.
Switch It Up in 4th. Yeah, P United, Atticus, let's go. 4th place went to Switch It Up, taking home $425. 3rd was Goober, taking home $800. Furiously in 2nd, taking home $1,200. And 1st went to Orion Noob. Couldn't compete in pool play in the bracket, so he just went and won the FFA. So at least there's something that came out of that tournament for him.
Yeah. He's like, all right, fuck it. Why not? He is an FFA god, so it makes sense. Jimmy Neutron, a.k.a. Logan, welcome back. Thank you for the 8-month resub. You get a whoa! Hey. Greatly appreciated.
$2,000 for first. Dex trip.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, again, for those that are tuning in to this after show, to this post show, I guess you could say, again, we watched a good amount of gameplay. We talked about a lot of series at length during the after party streams. I know I keep bringing them up, but it is relevant because we have so much to talk about with this event itself that we're not going to be able to watch a lot. Okay, so if you want to see all that and the reactions to that and the talking about that, feel free to go check out those. They're on podcast services for audio listeners. They are on the YouTube as well, so please check them out. But I did say that we do have some things that we are going to watch. And give me a second as well, because the Dino of Deans asked about if there's what series were relevant to watch. Like, what were the really cool series that you should watch? So let's talk about them, shall we? First and foremost, thank you for the bit, Depressed. Greatly appreciated. And welcome back. Assassin, you're far too nice. Thank you very much. In Pool A, let's talk about pool play right now. In Pool A, we had Mind Freak go up against... Oh, wait. What am I talking about? Why am I saying their name? We had...
Oh, no, you're going to press the button.
Of course I'm pressing the fucking button. They went up against BH3. It was a sweep by way of Mind Freak, as a matter of fact. So congratulations to them. And again, they sweep BH3 to become the first Australia-New Zealand team to qualify for the championship bracket from the open bracket. So they fought their way through open. They got into pools. We expected BH3 to do literally nothing, and they did literally nothing. And then Mind Freak moved on through into the champ bracket. So congratulations to them. That's really fucking cool. And that's Scoob Meister. In Pool A was kind of just a slaughter for everything else that had happened, so there isn't really much to talk about there. But Pool B had a couple bangers of some series. In Pool B, there were 2 Game 5s that you should go watch. One of them is Optic going up against Sentinels. Optic beat Sentinels 3-2. You should definitely check that out. And then Sentinels went up against Quadrant. Sentinels won that series 3-2. You should check that out as well. And I should also say, if people are wondering, how am I going to go watch these series? Am I going to have to fucking scrub through all the VODs to find these games, to find these series? No. Because I did that for you. If you type an exclamation point show notes in the chat right now, or if you're on your favorite podcast service or on YouTube, you can check it out in the description, the show notes link. Go check it out, because guess what? I have links to every game for these series. You just click it. It brings you right to that game in the VOD. It's fucking great. It's like, I'm going to, pat myself on the back, fuck you. There you go. No, seriously, if you want to follow along with what we're talking about, it's in the show notes. All the links are there. Feel free to check them out. And the stats as well from Halo Data Hive. Shout out Halo Data Hive. Go there for all your Halo statistical needs. In Pool C, FaZe went up against Cloud9. It was another Game 5. This series went on forever. Will, remember Arlington where it was Sentinels Cloud9? And that series took for fucking ever in pool play? I don't know what it is with Cloud9 and pool play series, but they go on forever. So FaZe had the issue, like there were technical difficulties that were happening, which made things take way longer than they needed to. So Game 3 is kind of split into 2 parts, but it was a Game 5. FaZe won at 3-2. And then the other Pool C one that I want to talk about just briefly is Cloud9 went up against Reversal Perfy. Reversal Perfy is the team that came from Open Bracket. And the reason I'm shouting this one out is because Cloud9 just put on a clinic in this series. It was a 3-0 sweep. Reversal Perfy really couldn't do anything. So shout out to Cloud9 on that one. Good series to go check out if you just want to watch some dominance. And then in Pool D was the pool that had all the fuckiness happen, as Will correctly predicted. So congratulations to you, Will. You nailed it. First up was Shopify went up against Into the Breach. This was a game 5 going to Shopify. Shopify wins 3-2. You should go check that series out. Into the Breach went up against Native Gaming. Again, Native Gaming had their pool spot gifted to them because of fluffy aimers. They had to forfeit their pool play spot. Thanks a lot, King Nick. I shouldn't say that. I don't know the reasonings as to why he wasn't there. That was being mean. I apologize. So ITB went up against Native Gaming. ITB won that series 3-2. It was another game 5. SWAT Esports, the team that actually made it from the open bracket into this pool, they went up against Into the Breach, and they whooped their asses. This was a fairly quick 3-0 by way of SWAT. So, Jesus. And then Native Gaming went up against SWAT, and this was the big deal, because basically Native Gaming it was required due to map count. They had to beat SWAT Esports at least 3-1. That or a sweep. If they did not beat SWAT Esports in a 3-1 or a sweep, they would be eliminated from the tournament. And lo and behold, they got the sweep. So there you go. Native Gaming are officially qualified for the champ bracket, and ITB are eliminated from the event. So I have the graphic here I just want to show briefly, because again, we did talk about this at length a while ago. But, might as well bring it up now just in case as well. Here are your pool play results. Will, I'll take pools A and C if you want to take pools B and D. Does that sound good?
Wonderful.
All right. In Pool A, Space Station won that one easily with a 3-0. Proton came in second as expected with a 2-1. Mind Freak came in third with a 1-2, kind of as expected as well. And BH3 as expected went 0-3.
In Pool B, Optic Gaming take first with a 3-0. Sentinels came in second with a 2-1. Quadrant in third with 1-2. And then Bittersweet going out 0-3.
In Pool C, FaZe Clan dominated with a 3-0. Cloud9 sticking where they should have been with a 2-1. Reversal Perfy coming from the open bracket. Didn't really matter. Went with a 1-2, and Complexity got disqualified. Therefore, yup.
Yeah.
Yup.
In Pool D, Rebellion go 3-0, taking first. Native Gaming going 1-2 because of map count, take second. SWAT also going 1-2, take third. And then Into the Breach, also 1-2, going out. It all came down to that map count.
It all came down to that map count, just as you had said, Will. Ash, I don't know if I've communicated this thought, but I don't put a lot of thought into, I don't put a lot of stock into, we've seen time again, we've seen Space Station kind of be flat in pools at times. I don't care. These teams are way better on Saturdays and Sundays than they are in pools. So I don't put a lot of stock in them taking 2 games off FaZe, but a game win's a game win. So there you go. All right. Let's, we talk about predictions and how we're always wrong on this show.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a consistent thing that happens, Will, right? Therefore, here are our pool play prediction results, as a matter of fact. So for those that are looking at this graphic on screen, you may be asking yourself, what the fuck does the orange mean? The only reason why I have orange on there is because of Complexity getting disqualified, because I think that fucked everything up.
I mean, if you take Complexity out for the disqualification and move them to the end, then we technically are right.
Exactly. So I put it as orange as to if they didn't fuck up, maybe we would have been more right. But no, the red, obviously, we're wrong on the red, and then the green, we are correct. So pool play, we're looking pretty good. Pool play, Will, we're looking pretty good.
Didn't do too bad this time.
Yeah, exactly. Bracket play, that's a whole other goddamn story. So, we'll get to that one in a second.
We're not.
Can we not? Oh, we got to, though. We got to talk about the absolute fucking bullshit. Okay, so moving on from pool play, let's talk about some bracket stuff here. Okay. You guys may have seen this already, but we're going to share it because I think it deserves to be shared. You know what I mean? Like, I think it deserves to be shared. So, in winners round 1, SSG went up against Sentinels.
Oh, God.
SSG had 2 reverse sweeps this tournament. One of them was later on in the event, but this one was against Sentinels. And for those that may have missed it, after game 2, Boo Boo Doo, believe it or not, Will, got that last kill in that Slayer. He got the 50th kill in that Slayer. Boo Boo Doo was feeling himself.
Oh, he was.
He was feeling great. So much so that he unleashed upon Space Station across main stage Darth Boo Boo. Ladies and gentlemen,
the Force Unleashed.
God damn it. This was Darth Boo Boo at the end of game 2. Again, they still needed to win one more game in order to close this series out, but Boo Boo Doo Boo took it upon himself to be like, I'm fucking feeling myself right now. I'm going to show him how good I'm feeling myself right now. This is a tweet from Boo Boo Doo Boo today, as a matter of fact, we'll edit. Look at that force choke.
The intensity, man.
Look at his fucking arm, dude.
He's just shaking.
Holy shit. So that's Boo Boo's. Again, he was feeling himself. They just won game 2. Boo Boo got that last kill. Things were going great. Well, let's just say that was how it started. And here, well, here's how it ended. I don't know if you guys missed that. Here, let's watch it again. Oh, what's that? What's that? Is that a reverse sweep bag being hand delivered to Boo Boo Doo Boo by way of Space Station Gaming? Is that what that is? So yeah, Space Station had a little fun with it after the reverse sweep had finished, and they tweeted that out. And it's just fucking hilarious. It's,
That's good stuff, man.
Oh, it's great stuff. It's great stuff. So yeah, you should absolutely go watch that series if you haven't already. Again, all the VODs are included in the show notes. Please check them out if you're interested. But yeah, I just want to share those because I thought that was like fucking hilarious. Then we had an unbelievably crazy 3-0 come in the winner's semifinal. This was Shopify against SSG. We had questions about Shopify coming into this event. Where'd they take that next step? And I think it's time that we're going to watch just that game 1.
They've had a lot of success, and in this
because I think that game 1 encapsulates what we wanted to see from Shopify coming from Arlington into London.
If factor, but I do think that SSG, we know what they can do with sniper rifles.
Shields up, weapons up. We're underway, folks. Winners semi-finals, and an opportunity for a winners finals On board with Stellar, sniper rifle in hands. What can SS Jesus do? Is he about to go Old Testament? Starting this one off a little bit slow. Body shot enough to get the kill on the suppressed. How good is Stellar for this team?
Yeah, this is the reason why they are a formidable force on Forbidden, because Stellar can take these positions and cover the rest of the squad and then indicate where his teammates should be pushing. Do they want to run it low? Do they want to run it high? He can almost dictate how it's going to go, but maybe not if Mental has an answer of his own. And that's one reason why Rebellion will have the opportunity here
It really
to
is,
shut
Will.
down Space Station, because they can
It
also
really is.
find the snipes.
Mental. Patrolling Hut, pushing forward. All the talk coming into this is Rebellion is a team that can win a championship. And wouldn't they just make a statement?
Also, if I get this wrong, I apologize. Shapongle
They need people
and Bean is not pro. Thank you guys for the follows. Welcome to the live show. Greatly appreciated.
With the bandit at the moment, but Mental, most importantly, in a position to cover the flag as it is on the move. He can escort technically, but he's kind of just hovering around. I think he's worried there's someone behind, but all the meanwhile, he's able to catch Stella yet again. That's a third bullet through the dome.
Oh! Mental by name, Mental by nature. 1-0 to Rebellion, and off the back of that good work from Mental.
Shutting down Stella on that sniper rifle was absolutely huge, and then he made sure he stayed in exactly the same spot to just force Stella to be in a position where he's not allowed to pick the sniper rifle up again. And off the back of it, I mean, he's had a killing spree. He will eventually fall, but I think it's job done. You've got one flag. Now the team can start to take very aggressive forms of attack here if they would like to.
What the Rebellion decide to do? Push forward, look for more, or play a little bit more passive. It's been off the back of that aggression, getting those kills. Being clinical at times. Bellon gets a triple kill. Soul snipe, last man standing. An opportunity for SSG to push forward. Legend in a 1v1, he rarely misses, and he does it this time.
Tom, I will, yes.
Oh, Overshield doesn't quite get popped, and that's a big kill for Cycle. I think the important
Quack, because they play against each other more often.
Against Space Station, that anyone on that team can pop off, and individually you have to try and match them in every single way. But denying them the chance to have advantageous positions with the likes of the Overshield, with the likes of the sniper rifle, has to be your focus. You really have to out-objective them. And that's exactly what Rebellion are doing at the moment.
So much firepower on this team. It's frightening. So much firepower in this lobby. They're going toe-to-toe here. Rebellion off to an early lead, but happy to play this a little bit slower. Sniper rifle up now for both teams. Eco in the underpass. There's a little bit of poke damage. This sizzle stick might get the job done. It doesn't. Just about. Cycle able to get his shields.
I'm pausing this for a second. Did you see how that did no fucking tick damage basically whatsoever?
Yeah.
Like that, what the fuck is that? I'd be dead in an instant. That's bullshit. God damn it.
Back. As he pushes forward now, has a sniper to play with. Swing and a miss on one. Loses his life. Mental.
How did FaZe manage to 3-0 Shopify? Because they're better.
A little bit of pressure on Mental to hit some shots just to stop the attack that's going to come through from Space Station. So to see how they navigate.
That's not me being an asshole. That's just a
It's going to be an
fact.
attack now from SSG.
As of right now, FaZe are just better.
Rebellion.
Nice, nice. Should be around our base.
Top left legend.
Okay.
You got it, Tom.
Obian's 20.
Consider it done.
Alright, I think our base is clear. I don't know where that guy went.
Yeah, Sam.
Obian 15.
Good flag trade. Airbag flag.
They're sniping their back flag. Still there.
Yo, he has 2 bullets back left. Or back left flag going.
Listen, OB4 guys. OB3.
Nice shot. And the guy, sitting on the plat.
OB guys, OB.
Preston. Sitting on your left.
More coming, guy.
They're sniped the Mohawk. They're sniped. Yeah, on Billy.
Damage.
I think, one probably OE, guys.
Guys,
I'm going to window.
I saw.
The window, I have a kill.
I just finished the podcast.
Yeah, more is that?
Hey, we get a poke. Where's the last guy? He's sniping in their little hole. He's in the rat hole. Oh, he's gonna OE.
Tom, if there's not Lucid stickers now, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed.
Not the door rat.
We got 3 guys coming.
There better be Lucid stickers.
No, there's.
No, they came back.
You should have stickers of the shampoo bottle that he uses and then put his face on it. That's what the sticker should be.
Or his or the
hair
pomade.
gel. Yeah. The pomade.
I have it saved in my Amazon cart.
Let's go.
Struggling to keep up with Rebellion
God
at the moment.
damn it.
Great control that we're witnessing, and it's how they are all working together to make sure.
Yeah, Pharaoh, he's unbelievable. He's been doing a
tested,
phenomenal
let alone
job.
Being stopped by Space Station. Typically,
Have you not been to his
SSG
clothing
was
store?
very
I
good
bought a hoodie.
at stopping flags from
I've
being
worn it
pulled
multiple
in
times on the show,
general.
Tom.
On average, only 3 per game, but 2 have been pulled and
Come
2 have
on
been
now.
captured. So now SSG need to find more of a way to actually find some offense here, because every time they try and make any sort of flank, Rebellion are wise to it.
I did not catch that instinct. I did not catch that.
Communication was calm and composed. It wasn't frantic. They're prepared for this occasion. They've worked on it. This is where they belong, and they're trying to prove it. Mental now, a couple of shots down. Got 2 players to contend with. Eco's going to get him down to no shield, but Mental again, every single time there's a piv, it's a Rebellion man coming out on top.
Instincts, feel free to send it to us via DM. The permit feature on Twitch never works for us, and I don't fucking know why. So if you could just DM it to us, that'd be great.
SSG now have to OV.
That can be on Twitter, Discord, whatever you
Mental
want.
pushing this one on. Driving the flag forward. Will receive a little bit of contention. Cycle's going to keep jiggle peeking. Legend gets a kill. Eco another. He's going to try and force this one home.
Oh, it's all good, Tom. Don't worry about it.
Rebellion
It is all good.
take the lead in this series.
Okay, so the reason why I wanted to show that game was because that was what I was curious to see what Shopify would be able to do. Now, I've been on record during the after party shows, and I'll say it again here during the post show, is that I don't believe Space Station were at 100%, kind of like I didn't believe FaZe were at 100% for Arlington. Again, but I'm also never going to take a win away from a team. Okay, I say that every time, and I mean it. Never going to take away a win. The fact of the matter is, Shopify played better than Space Station. Shopify won that series, and Bob's your uncle. You know what I mean? But the reason why I wanted to highlight that game specifically is because that was one of those games that you go back and you watch, regardless if I don't believe Space Station were playing at the level that I expect them to. Again, like FaZe at Arlington, when you go back and you watch a game like that, the amount of teamwork that was being utilized by Shopify, the amount of team shots that were coming in from Shopify, the comms that were taking place from Shopify, the setups that Shopify had, the collapses that Shopify had. They just executed that game as good as anybody could. But the question was, or the question that I had in my mind, and we'll talk about what happens after the fact, but so they beat SSG in that series, right? They sweep them. They get the 3-0. It was like, holy shit, Shopify are here to fucking play. This is great. Then they got to wait. We find out that FaZe is going to be moving on to the winner's side. And so that's the other winner's semifinal matchup, was FaZe against Optic. FaZe swept Optic. For those that are paying attention at Arlington, again, I don't believe FaZe were playing to their standard at Arlington, but regardless, Optic took advantage of the situation and they whooped them twice. Now, granted, that second series was a little bit closer at Arlington, but the fact of the matter is Optic whooped them in the first one 1,000%, and then beat them in the second series. So the fact that FaZe were able to come out like this and 3-0 them, the series was close. The series was close here at London. So FaZe sweep Optic, and it's going to be a FaZe Shopify matchup in the winter final. And I wanted this so bad because, and I said this in earlier things, and I'm going to say it now again just for reference, and I mean this. I mean nothing against the players on Shopify. I think they're a great team. I think they have a phenomenal coach. He won back-to-back best coach of the event. And they've been putting in the fucking work. They've been putting in the fucking work. But I'm not going to lie. I was hoping that they were going to lose to FaZe. And you may be asking yourself, why the fuck would you want a team to lose? Like you always say that you want every team to win. I do. But the reason why I wanted them to lose to FaZe is because then they'd have to play Optic. No matter what. And if you're a team that is going to be considered to be in the top 3, or if we were to ever expand that to be in the top 4, you need to beat those teams. You need to be able to beat all of them. And I'm like, and so when I saw that FaZe had 3-0'd Shopify in the winter final. There was a reset in game 1, which that could have been a determining factor into like momentum being taken away from Shopify, whatever. But another point that I want to make about that is if you want to have that argument, that's fine. But the other thing I want to bring up is if you're going to be a championship contender, you need to get over that. You need to be able to get over that. You need to be able to compete. You need to be able to perform. So there's that. So they get swept by Shopify. They get swept by FaZe. And I'm sitting back and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is it. This moment where they're going to be going up against Optic, where Optic proceed to 3-1 SSG in the loser semifinal. So Optic are ready to go. This is where I really get to see if Shopify potentially have what it takes to get in there. And Will, we're gonna talk about what you had said, which was literally like the most perfect fucking statement ever. When we were talking about what Tools was talking about yesterday, we're gonna get to that, I promise, because you hit the fucking nail on the head. But I wanted to see what they could do. Their backs are against the wall again, and you're going up against an opponent you don't necessarily go up against all the time, but you need to be able to beat these teams if you're going to be a contender. So in that losers final, we had Optic go up against Shopify. And there was one specific moment, one specific basically 3.5, 4 minute segment of a game that is, I think, can arguably be considered one of, if not the best moments in a game in HCS history.
We should try to get one of the players' perspective on this call and how it all went down.
Oh yeah.
It's in the timing. The timing is insane.
The timing is absolutely insane.
I think we're going to watch it here, right?
We are absolutely going to watch it here.
All right, yeah, let's get into it before say anything more.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the setup for this is game 2 in the losers finals with Optic Gaming going up against Shopify. Optic are currently up in the series 1-0. There is 4 minutes left on the clock. This is Slayer on Livefire. Optic Gaming at 49, Shopify at 48. Again, there are 4 minutes left on the clock.
Over on the side, I was worried if that was going to be the flank that could end the game there in favor of Optic. 49-48. Camo no longer in play. So how does Cycle and crew decide to play this? They just have to somehow get 2 clean kills before Optic can get a trade out.
No power up, no power weapon to play around right now. Snipe and Camo are not a part of the conversation. Optic turtled up in the house. The problem here is Shopify will eventually be the team that needs to make a play, and the kill time on the Bandit will erase a member of Shopify if they are caught out alone right now. So Shopify needs to be so careful about their spacing.
Yeah, Shopify right now are also deducing where Optic can possibly be. They're checking a few of those corners. They're making sure there's no one at Van. They're checking Rat Tunnel. They're just making sure nobody has slipped by and seeing if they can get some sort of free kill. As they slowly eliminate each of those locations, they might decide that, all right, they're all stuck here. Let's make a charge.
Optic are on the move, starting to create some space. Formal making his way bottom middle. Nobody top middle in the hole, he says. Let's clear out dummies. And now this is the moment. Suppress jumps up top tower. Nobody watching the dummy rip. Suppress gets got out. He turns the corner, though. No shield. Formal trying to play his life now. Forced to back up. Optic Gaming are around Formal. They're going to back up, go back into house. A risk by Optic Gaming almost pays off in their favor, but everybody makes it out alive, unscathed, and now Camo may become a part of the conversation if this goes back into a stalemate.
Everyone's too timid to commit right there. No one wants to make that game-changing mistake over commitment. I did like that play by Optic, though. They're always so tricky with some of these situations as they seem to be fully turtled up, and then they feel like, all right, we're going to push out, a minute or 2 minutes later and catch someone off guard. Camo coming up soon, though. Let's see how this decides this fate.
Good God, Shopify.
I feel like this Camo, everyone's just treating it as bait. right now, no, like Optic sure could go and grab that, but everyone's kind of on the outskirts. They're kind of waiting to see who's going to make a move, who's going to be in this next position that can see it, but no one's really going to be going for it.
Yeah, Formal actually just sits back. Camo is up right now. Shopify are staring at it, but they have no intention of going for it because they know if they were to go for it, they will lose one player. That is too open of an area, too exposed of an area to try and get out of. All of Optic going to be in a prime time position here. A few members of Shopify starting to move up on the cuts. They're going to back up to tower. Nobody's going to try to make the play just yet. Several players on Shopify receiving damage now. A lot of information for Optic to play around.
Yeah, Tom, this was fucking insane.
They start to move around the map.
Also, keep in mind, everyone's going to be pretty fully loaded when it comes to like grenades, secondaries, pistols, plasma pistols. Everyone's had time to gather those gadgets across the map, so it's going to be a firefight when this goes down.
Eventually, time becomes a factor. A minute on the clock, and all of a sudden, Shopify have a realization that they are going to have their hand forced at some point. The one kill difference allows Optic the comfort of sitting back and waiting for what Shopify has to say about it.
Man, Lucid getting a couple shots on the side, realizing that he's going to be a target. If he's not shot that much, did that camo get snagged? Did that actually get snagged? I have to double check on that one.
Camo gets snagged.
Somehow by Suppressed.
Suppressed.
The cojones on this guy in a 49-48 game.
The plasma pistol is actually a weapon that this camo player wants in his hand. This could be the moment. Where is Optic Gaming? 3 players
fucking
on his
insane.
team sandwiching big door, but Optic are out of dodge.
They got out.
They're just gone. They're just fucking gone.
They made it all the way to tower.
Crazy,
the camo's
man.
gonna run out soon and Suppressed.
And it runs
with 10
out
seconds
right
has to
there.
Make the play. He gets the kill on the dice. All of Optic are at tower.
Oh, no.
Dead zone.
And Dead Zone gets the kill off screen.
He does.
Off screen. And oh my.
Holy shit. What an unbelievable game. What an unbelievable moment. Still just, wow. Just wow. That deserves a woo! You're right, Instincts. It does. Enjoy that. That's for you. Okay, we got this. Okay, so basically, let me get to the point here. You have a moment like that happen, right? And that's a fucking heartbreaker. Like, literally, and we're talking about this during the after party, and I mentioned it to Will. It's like, you can bank camo. You don't have to use it right away, just like OS. You don't, or any equipment. You don't have to use it right away. You can wait. And just, there's always that what if, right? What if he just waits to pop it for a little bit later? Because it literally runs out as he's coming up on that player at dice. It's just these you hear the pros talk about it all the time, and you hear the talent talk about it all the time, is that these games come down to moments. These games come down to very specific moments, very specific plays. They can drastically shift how things happen. And that was fucking one of them. Optic, like we talked about before, we've seen teams rotate from A to tower. Like we've seen full team pushes around the map. We've seen teams just play ring around the rosy at times. But the way that was executed at the exact fucking time needed, it just, wow.
Yeah. They somehow knew the collapse was coming big door and the camo player top mid. Maybe they didn't know, but they made the right assumption and got out through rat tunnel. You know, you look at Dead Zone staying scoreboard side, gets that final kill. And you're right about the camo play too, because let's just say he still has camo when he's walking up to Drowy there on dice, and he gets a back smack or whatever it may be.
Yep.
Formal was coming down those tower stairs. Formal gets maybe 1 or 2 shot by the time he gets behind cover. If he doesn't see that player reveal himself, maybe he's not backing up as fast, and it's a double. You know, it's these small decisions, these small plays, it all adds up. And that was just a crazy moment that Optic got out, was able to reverse kind of the positioning on the map and got the win.
it was literally perfect. Like you couldn't have asked for a better play by that team. Like they literally left A at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Like a second or two, if they would have left a second or two later, they would have been collapsed on, and they would have been stuck in tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unbelievable. Ronan says special plays, special players. It was seriously, that's what it was.
Special teams, special plays, special players.
But seriously, that is a moment that you could look back on. Like I meant it when I said it. That is arguably one of, if not the best plays we've ever seen in HCS history. Like,
yeah,
wow.
I mean, and you also, I mean, Tiger Tom said it up here too. The patience,
yeah,
all that, and they continued that in that flag game.
Yep.
And Forbidden Flag, with waiting to cap that flag, not desperating it at the end where they were under fire, and they waited for the right moments, and it just worked. It was phenomenal.
Absolutely. So please go watch that entire series, because you have some heartbreaking losses in there for Shopify, but man, what a incredible series regardless. There's a clip that Instincts had sent us via Twitter. So I wanted to open it up real quick and take a peeky here. So apparently this was an OS glitch of some kind. So let's go check that out.
Play for Tripcast. You have to knock Optic out of this game early. You cannot let this go back and forth. Well, this OS is going to help things just a bit. It struck with the OS in his hands. They take out Dead Zone.
Oh.
A lot of damage has been done. Overshield no longer a factor.
Oh. Did you notice that?
Like he gen super quick?
Yeah, his shield came back immediately.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Can you play it one more time?
Yeah.
OS is going to
help want to see that again.
Just a bit. It struck with the OS in his hands. They take out Dead Zone. But a lot of damage has been done. Overshield no.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's fucking insane. Kabosh says maybe it was his SSD. Oh my God, get out of here.
Oh.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the live show. Yeah, it did stop him from dying. That's fucking crazy. That is actually fucking crazy. So hopefully that gets looked into, because that's not okay. Good fucking Lord. Thank you for sending that clip, Instincts. Appreciate it. Greatly appreciated. Verb, tell the tiger I'm here. I mean, you could tell him. Go ahead. Verb says Shopify ain't built to beat Optic or FaZe. They're only built to beat SSG, something similar to Quadrant being built to only beat Optic. I will say this, Verb, is that, again, I'm never going to take a win away from a team, but at the same time, I don't think that Shopify were playing at what I expect them to play at. Just like FaZe didn't play at what I expect them to play at Arlington. And yes, Ronan, any given Sunday, that is very true. We do say that all the time. Hell yeah, Tom. Maybe you should get on the desk. You just can't be biased towards your own son, but you get on the desk there and Tell City. Wait, is it Telicity? Either way, I apologize. Welcome to the live show. Thank you for the follow. Pharaoh said Soul Snipe didn't sleep at all the night before. Not my problem. And he even said in his tweet, he's not trying to make excuses for himself. These aren't excuses. The fact of the matter is you come to play or you don't. And they didn't play bad. One of the key takeaways that I had from the series that they played against FaZe and Optic is, and we talked about it earlier, was the assists. The assists on Shopify compared to the assists on FaZe and Optic were night and day difference. Shit. That it was either that I think it was that Slayer game, Dead Zone had 17 assists or something like that. He had more assists than 3 players on Shopify combined that game. And his teammates, like Dead Zone's teammates, were also doing well in that category. I understand that maybe because of the reset that happened in that game 1 against FaZe, that momentum had been killed or whatever, right? Like, I get it. But this is the point I'm making, is that if you are to be a contender and you are planning to win events, then you need to beat these teams. That's the whole, how you get there. And they know that. Obviously they know. They've been putting in fucking work they've been putting in work like crazy. And I commend that. I love teams that stick together. I love teams that put the work in. They are checking both of those fucking boxes. But still, regardless, I don't want to hear excuses. The fact of the matter is, they didn't win. And that's why I highlighted that game 1 against SSG in that series. It's because they played so fucking well. That was what I wanted to see out of them. And I saw it and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Can they keep it up? Can they keep that up? Because if they can keep that up, regardless of my thoughts on SSG at London, if they can keep that level of teamwork up, they can be scary for any team. But it didn't happen in those FaZe, in the FaZe and Optic series. It just didn't. Yes, games were close, but that's the thing. Those little details, that's what wins or loses games. My 2 lemons, thank you for the 5-month resub. You get a woo! Greatly appreciated. Ronan, shut up. Oh my God, be nice. Depressed says, I just started playing a few months ago, so I'm watching these streams to help me understand the game better. Depressed, if you want a legitimate way to like understand the game better and whatnot, because we mainly talk about from the competitive standpoint, but like if you want to really learn how to understand the game more, like there are some pro player streams that you can definitely check out, and like some pros give better like analysis than others. You could go check out Metafy for players, for analysts and whatnot. Metafy being like a coaching program if you want to try to get better at the game. So yeah, there are many avenues to do so. We're happy to have you here. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, just if you want other outlets to find ways to get better at playing the game and understanding the game as a whole, then I would definitely check those out. Hopefully that helps you.
There is here, I'm just going to put this in chat because this is one YouTuber that I've been watching that has helped with game mechanics, how to play maps and things like that. Go check that YouTube out.
There you go. And no problem, Depressed.
It's helped me a lot.
Like we said, we're happy to have you here no matter what. That's great. Glad you found us. Hope you enjoy. But like, just because we talk more about the strict competitive nature of the game, if you want just more of a broad aspect of how to get better at the game, Will's link that he provided is a good outlet. There's Metafy coaching areas that you can go through. Lots of different avenues as well. So,
oh yeah.
So yeah. Going back to the series here, there's a couple ones that I missed that I just want to shout out that people should go watch. Excuse me. In the losers bracket side of things, we had losers round 2 with Sentinels going up against Cloud9. Sentinels 3-2 against Cloud9. You should go check that series out because, again, just another banger of a 5-game series. In the loser quarterfinal, here was the second reverse sweep from SSG against the hometown boys in Quadrant. So it was a heartbreaker for Quadrant there, but it was a really great series to go watch. You have Legend on Space Station, who was previously part of Quadrant. who had then left to go to Space Station. Quadrant really trying to make names for themselves yet again. This is their home event. They're trying to put a show on for the crowd, and you just have a great game 5. But it was a reverse sweep by SSG, so there you go. And then, the loser semifinal, like I talked about previously, Optic went up against SSG. Optic beat them 3-1. We already talked about the losers final. And then we have the grand final, which was FaZe against Optic. FaZe won this series 4-2. It did not go to a bracket reset. Games 1 and 2, FaZe took. Games 3 and 4, Optic took. In games 5 and 6, FaZe took as well. Basically, the one real note that I have here, obviously, is that FaZe is back in their championship form. And I said it before, and I'll say it now, is that I didn't think it was going to be this quick. And that was my take. I sit with it. I own up that I was wrong. I didn't think it was going to be this fast that they got back to where they are. Just because of how we saw Optic and SSG at Arlington. But no, FaZe they showed up. They played how I expected them to play at Arlington. They played it here. So, yeah, they were a dominant force. They win the tournament. And the fun fact that I have here is that, Tom, fucking A.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
Incredible.
Tom with the 5 gifted subs. You get a whoa, 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 whoa. Greatly appreciated.
Far too kind.
Yeah, way too kind. And Tom, I see your message there. Thank you very much. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's okay. So the point I was trying to make, though, is game 6 in the grand final was King of the Hill on Recharge. And you may be asking yourself, well, what the fuck is the significance of that? It's just a map mode combination. Who cares? It's in the series. Whoop-de-doo. The fun fact about that map mode combination is that was also the map mode combination that FaZe won the World Championship last year against Optic in the grand finals. That was the game. That game ended in a 3-1. This game ended in a 3-0. But still, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things other than maybe FaZe are just very good at King of the Hill on Recharge. That's a land statistic that you can hang on to. But I just thought that was kind of a fun fact. Be like, oh my God, that is the exact same game type and map that they proceeded to win as well. Kills in the Night. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the live show. Recharge is ready to be retired from comp. No, Ronan. I think Argyle is ready. I think Argyle's ready to get the fuck out of there. Just take it, give it to the ranked folks. So you guys can have that. Enjoy. And I only say that because I'm bad at Argyle. I know people love Argyle. I know people hate Argyle. I'm not the biggest fan because I'm not good at it. So have a great night, Tom. Thanks again for stopping by, and thanks for the gifteds.
Yes, thanks, Tom.
Collect said you were helping keep the scene alive. He is way too kind.
Wow.
He is way too kind. Shout out Collect.
Hi, Ronan. Just randomly middle of the show.
He just wants to make sure you're doing okay, because I do talk a lot here. So, Verb asks, are the 2 new maps they showed, the Kali remake and some Sanctuary-like map, being implemented in the next event? It is not confirmed as of yet if and when they are going to be included in the HCS map rotations. As of right now, the only official confirmation that we have is that it'll be included in Ranked at some point in time in summer of this year. That is the only information that we have right now. So there you go.
Pharaoh, I agree. I doubt they'll have enough time before Atlanta comes around to get those implemented. But yeah, maybe I would hate to see them not be in Split 2 and then in Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this would have to be a next season type of thing to come to HCS.
Yeah, unless they do something fucking crazy, that we've known them to do this shit. Unless they do something crazy and they implement it for SLC. I don't necessarily want that to happen unless, obviously, teams have enough time. But I could totally see the HCS doing something like that.
Yeah.
So, Pharaoh, yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Argyle. To me, and again, I think it's just because I'm genuinely not good on the map. But I don't like the flow. I don't really like the flow of the map. I don't like how, yes, flag runs have gotten faster over time because now that like teams understand better routing and everything.
Yeah, they moved the flag closer to the front of the base so you can get out of the base with it, actually.
Yep. So I'm just not good at it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I kind of want it to go away, but I'm one guy. Briggs, welcome back. Good to see you. Kills in the night. You're not in the minority. I'm guaranteed a lot of people love Argyle. Like, there's a thing, like the hyper competitive community, right, is a very niche thing in the broader scope of all of Halo, right? We are a very, very small subset of fans, relatively speaking to the overall community of Halo, right? So where some of us may not like Argyle at all, I'm guaranteed there's a shit ton of people that love Argyle. So, yeah. Yeah, that was one of the issues, right? Verb says, well, I don't fucking understand. HCS removed Plaza strongholds because they didn't want blowouts, but Interference has had a bunch of blowouts as well. Oh, Verb giving a gifted out? Let's go. All right.
I'm pushing for those gifted, man.
Just wants everybody to gift the subs, man. Okay, with that, I want to bring up the bracket here for the event. Ladies and gentlemen, here is how the bracket shaped out. You can go ahead and take a look at it on your screen as of right now. FaZe Clan win the event in fairly dominant fashion as well. So yeah, FaZe, I mean, fucking all bracket play dropped 3 maps. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, it's McPoopin here? I saw.
No, Riz type McPoopin.
No, but he said, I'll take a gifted. Jesus Christ.
Wow. He came into a chat and the first thing he said was not a McPoopin. Wow.
Oh my God. Why isn't where the fuck is the standings? There's the standings. Okay. So here are your final results for the London Major. Will, would you do me a favor and read through these, please?
Final results for London. Here we go. In 13th through 15th, we had BH3 Esports, Bittersweet, and Into the Breach. 9th through 12th, Reversal Perfy, SWAT Esports, Mind Freak, and Native Gaming. 7th, 8th, Proton and Cloud9. 5th, 6th, Quadrant and Sentinels. 4th went to Space Station Gaming. 3rd, Rebellion. 2nd, Optic Gaming. And first going to FaZe Clan.
Absolutely. And Verb with the gifted sub to Briggs. You get a whoa! Thank you so much for the gifted. Tom says, I'll match all gifted subs to the next 10 before I go. God damn. Feel free to give gifted subs or don't. It's okay. All right. And then, Will, we gotta stay honest. Okay. We gotta stay honest with the show.
Yo, Tyler with the 5 gifted.
Yo! Release
Thank
the
you
footy
so
pajamas. Tyler with the 5 gifted, you get a whoa, 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 whoa! Riz with the 5 gifted, you get a whoa, 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 whoa!
John gave a gifted. Let's go.
Whoa! Next
Insane.
episode is 343, or is that cap? Nope, it actually is. It is our 343rd official episode next week. We obviously have more episodes than that have released, but we include like the interview episodes within our listings. But yes, our like 343rd just real episode of the show that's not an interview will be next week. Beiji with the 5 gifted as well. Woo, 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 woo! What the fuck is going on? Boots with the follow. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the live show. Briggs with the fucking 5 gifted as well. Woo, 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 woo! What the fuck is this shit? What is happening? Dude, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Tom's going to have a hell of a time. Tom with 10
with 10 gifted.
Woo, 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 woo! My voice is going to be gone. What the fuck, guys? This is crazy. This is crazy. You guys are insane.
So Josh can't talk at work tomorrow.
Please, actually, I don't want to attend meetings tomorrow. Please. Please give us more money so I don't have to talk, please. I'm just kidding.
That Juan video, my throat is going to be raw.
One of the best videos of all time, by the way. Oh my God. You kick ass, Tom. Thank you so much, man. Greatly appreciated.
Insane. All of you guys with the gifted, just thank you so much.
Josh needs to be on cam for the woo, so we know it just isn't a soundboard. All right, bet. Bug and bet. How many we got? Let's see. I think I started when Tyler gifted the 5, right? So 5, 10,
yeah,
15, 20, 31.
31 with John, yep.
Okay.
Got to redo them all. 31.
Yeah, I'm going to redo
this
all
will
30.
probably be a record.
Fuck it. Oh shit, is that Lucid's dad? Yeah, it's legitimately Lucid's dad. Fun fact, if you want that whole story about how that happened.
Oh.
I forgot what episode the fuck that was, but that what an insane situation that was. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a joke. And then I saw him and I shook his hand. I'm like, oh, it's not a joke at all. He's literally Lucid's dad. Oh man, that was a funny moment.
You know?
Oh yeah. All right, 31 will
to be out here posing as Lucid's dad, but nope, real deal.
That's the funniest thing is because I genuinely thought it was a fucking joke. And then I'm like, okay, bet I'll come fucking find you and I'll come up and shake your hand and I'll introduce myself and you better be who you say you are. And then sure as shit, it's exactly who he said he was. So who is Lucid's dad? Tiger Tom. Or Tiger 99 Tom 19. Okay. 31. Here we go. Live. Because fuck you, that's why. Woo! 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 I was giving you extra moves. Fuck you. Hammer McPoopin giving out a gifted sub. Woo! There it is. That was for you guys. Thank you so fucking much for the support, guys. Holy shit. What is happening? 34, do it over? No. Tyler, I'm in my girl's ear like, whoa! Oh my God.
Oh man. Can you hit a different pitch with the woo, or does it just come out that way all the time?
See, I'm so practiced in this. That sounds stupid. Like I'm so practiced in traditionally where my woo goes to in my registry that like obviously I can go lower or I can go higher if I want to, but like that's where it stays specifically. I've done it so fucking much. Like it transcends this show. Like it didn't start in this show, by the way. I'll just say that. Like it's been a thing previously in different workplaces and whatnot, but that's like that's the key where it stands.
I just love, like, I'm well practiced. I'm like, I'm imagining you in the mirror before I show up before the show. And you're just like, whoa, whoa.
Remember, I forgot who the fuck it was. It was so long ago. But do you remember the person who came in the chat and like, do you guys do do you have a vocal coach? Warm-ups? Yeah, like, do you guys do vocal warm-ups? Like, no, it's all fucking live. What are you talking about? We do vocal warm-ups before the show. It's all pure passion, baby! Oh, God damn. Pharaoh says you woke my cat. You're welcome. Yo, Maddie, welcome back. The passion. McPoopin is requesting a McPoopin in the woo voice. I can't do that. It has to be like a one syllable thing. You know what I mean? Like I can't sustain that level through a McPoopin. I could do a poo. There you go. It's like a woo, but a poo. You know what I mean? Yo, Ashley with the 5 gifted.
Ashley.
Woo, 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 woo. There it is. Should I try to go higher real quick? Just one time? Woo! There it is. A little high register woo for you. That's not going to stay, though. We'll keep that one where it's at.
I think it's probably highest hype train we've ever got.
I think it's by far the highest we've ever gotten. Like, that's not even a question. This is fucking insane.
Acceptable and appreciated, Poopin says. All right.
Thanks, Poopin. I appreciate it. I want to see how past the previous hype train. Oh, shit. Are we not past yet? I thought it would be. I'm assuming Juan is clipping this. I have no fucking idea. It shows that people admire your vocal abilities. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. No context HCS. No context Pro Talk is what it is. No context Toe Talk.
Oh, God.
Yeah, bring it back. All right. So let's go. Like I said, we have to be honest here. We do provide predictions. Shut up, Will. I had a lot of woos, okay? We do predictions during our preview episode of every major event that takes place. London was no different. And what you're going to find out is, we know when we say that our predictions are always wrong, I get World's predictions correct. I don't get this shit right. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our predictions and the results of said predictions from London. As you can see, Will, we had Bittersweet and BH3 doing jack shit in 13th through 16th, so we got that right. Woo! For us. And then again, I put the orange on Fluffy Aimers and Reversal Perfy because Fluffy Aimers were in pools, then they're not in pools. Native Gaming ended up being in pools anyway, and then Complexity got fucking DQ'd. So I think we deserve a little reprieve there. Into the Reach we were wrong about because they actually got 16th or 13th through 16th. Native Gaming we were correct, and Mind Freak we were correct as well. Cloud9 we were incorrect about because of where we thought they were going to be previously. In 7th and 8th, you had Sentinels and Quadrant. I had Complexity and Proton. Complexity got DQ'd. I'll take the L on that. 5th, 6th, you had Complexity and Proton. You'll have to take the L on Complexity because we both did. And then I had Sentinels and Quadrant.
I took a L on the whole top 8th, man.
Hey, that's okay. I got 3 of them. You know what I mean? Not the top 3. I just got 3 of them.
I said it on the after party in the pre-show. Like, I just threw shit at the wall, and I didn't want to have. Honestly, I saw your predictions before as I was making mine, and I was like, I don't want to have the same stuff. I want to switch it up. So
no, I hear you.
I threw a bunch of shit at the wall, and none of it stuck.
That's okay. Wow,
That's
2 anti-FaZe guys, unreal. Yeah, fuck me for having FaZe winning Arlington. Fuck me. You know? God damn. Not anti-FaZe. And I think you're joking, Arav, but like, we're not anti any fucking team. Unless you're a shit organization. As there are some. But no, unless you're a shit organization, we have no ill will towards any fucking team or any player or anything like that. Like I said, this is why our predictions are always wrong. Shout out to Blaze. Blaze got them all right.
Blaze, yeah.
Yep. Blaze got the top 5 correct, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations to Blaze. You might be biased. We're absolutely biased. So for fucking sure. No doubt.
Is top? Yeah, that's a good question. Is 4th place the lowest SSG's been since the C9 trade?
If we're only including major LAN performances, then yes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, now granted, I'm one guy, right? I'm one guy.
This is yo chill.
No,
I mean, it's still top 4, Tyler. It's still great, you know?
Well, here's the point that I want to make real quick. And Will, then I want to get to what you talked about, like with the top 3 situation, right? So there you go. Those are the results of our predictions. Shout out me for having fucking Quadrant over Proton. All right. But what I did want to say is, again, I'm one guy. There's not a lot of stock in what I say, but I do want to say this. I don't believe SSG were playing the top of their game. I don't think they were playing. I don't think they played how we expected them to play. And this is not just because they had won Arlington. It's not because of that at all. The reason is because they we know what they're capable of doing because they've been so consistent.
Yeah.
Like they've just been so consistent as it is. Like we know what to expect out of them. They've been part of that top 3 basically since the roster formed from the fucking Cloud9 days. And obviously they went through a change, but like, you know what I mean? So I don't think they played to the best of their ability. I don't think they played to the expectations that we have of them. Just like I don't believe FaZe played at the expectation I had of them at Arlington. So the question is whether or not they bounce back, because it was the question I had for FaZe for this event. And lo and behold, they did. So we'll see. Have a great night, Tom. Thanks again for all the gifteds, man. You're fucking insane.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely insane. So yeah. And like I said, I own my takes, right? And one of the takes that I had was I didn't think FaZe were going to be back yet. Like I thought they'd be better than they were at Arlington, and obviously they were, but I didn't think they were, like I predicted that they weren't going to win. Oh my God. Does that make me a hater? No. Fuck no. We know what they're capable of doing. There's a reason why we have them in that top 3 all the fucking time, because here's where we want to, this is what I want to get to. Will, do you remember what you had said yesterday when I fucking rambled to get to my point and you made my point perfectly?
I believe so. I'm trying to recall the exact wording, but the conversation that was going on is Shopify considered a part of like the big 4 now? Are they added to the list of SSG, Optic, FaZe?
In any order.
Yeah, in any order. And in my mind, they've solidified that top 4 team, like as being a top 4 team, but I don't think they're part of the big 3. I think those 3 teams has what it takes to show up on Sunday, ice up in games, make the right plays. I think Shopify just needs a little bit more to get there and show that they can really come to play on Sunday and take games off FaZe Optic. They are kind of built to beat SSG, but if they can make a splash against FaZe or Optic, then I could say they could be part of the conversation.
You also had said, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I specifically remember you saying that the reason why we consider the top 3 is because they have won.
Yeah.
And because Shopify has not won yet, I cannot include them in the top 3 conversation. But like you had said, Will, they are the 4th team. They are solidified the 4th team. I think you had also said that like other teams, they're the team that everybody else needs to beat to break into the top 4.
Yeah. I mean, I could see Sentinels doing it. They've been on an uptrend as well. But the way Shopify played in London, it looks like they're going to be solidified in that spot.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree.
But yeah. Is it Kills in the Night says best man will get them there? Yeah. I mean, best coach, back-to-back events. I have a good feeling that they will continue to improve. They have the mix of the veteran talent and mental coming from Gears having experience, and all those other guys are great. So I think it's just a matter of time. It's just how fast can they ramp up to that.
And so yes, like I said, you had made the point perfectly. Thank you again for sharing that. Because that's what I was trying to say. That's literally what I was trying to say, is that, and Tools had brought it up yesterday as well, and that's what kind of started this conversation. That I consider a team in the top 3 if you win a fucking major. You need to win. And that's not saying that Shopify could never do it. I'm never saying that. They just need to prove it. Once they do that, then it's not even really a conversation anymore. Once they do that, they're in the top 3. They're in that conversation. For those who don't recall, in one of the episodes of the Tide the Leader show with Mikowski and Eli, they had Renegade on. And Renegade had literally talked about it because one of the questions that I believe Eli had posed was, do you believe there's like a top 6? Like instead of just the big 3, do you think there's like a top 6 or whatever? And Renegade basically said, no, it's still the top 3 until somebody else wins. I'm paraphrasing there, but that's basically where we got. And when he said that, I'm like, yup, that's literally where I've been for the past 2 fucking years. There's a reason why we say the top 3 so much, is because those teams have consistently won and consistently been in grand finals every event for the past 2 years. That's saying something. And again, that's not to say that Shopify can never get there. I'm never going to say that. Never counting a team out. But until it happens, that is my stance. Until they take that next step. And I said it, they took a step from Arlington to London. They did. They absolutely took a step. I want to see it consistently. I need to see them win. Definitely tiers though, just more shuffling in lower tiers. Usually huge gaps between tiers, but Shopify and Sendman looking good tier 2. Yeah, Arav, I can agree with that. We also talk about tiers all the time. No problem, Kills in the Night. We gotta. So the top 3 are the top 3 for me. Until Shopify prove me different, or like prove otherwise, and they don't need to prove it to me. And I said this before. They don't need to prove it to me. They don't care about my opinion. They know what they need to do. They know the mistakes that they need to clean up, and Best Man is in a prime position to help them. Like Will said, they have the fucking talent to get there. It's just whether or not they can execute. And yes, Halt, I do. I know that. Yeah. The top 3 are the top 3 until proven otherwise. We'll have to wait and see. And I mean it when I say I want, like, I don't sound stupid, but I do want every team to win, because if we have if we have that situation, then the competition's even closer than it appeared to be. But I fucking, not like a Josh was right moment or anything like that, but I swear FaZe were not playing to their standard at Arlington, and look what the fuck happened. They come out and they fucking annihilate again. I haven't seen Shopify do that yet. And again, I don't believe, just like FaZe at Arlington, I don't believe SSG were playing to their ability at London. So I'm very curious to see how they play in Atlanta, just as I'm very curious to see how Shopify plays. Because if Shopify if Shopify can show me again what they did in that game 1 against Space Station, if they can just show me that again and they can show me that consistently, god damn it, they're so fucking good. They're so fucking good. Oh. Have you guys talked about the optic teleport to tower from Rats yet?
Yeah. The Shopify optic game. The Slayer.
Right, but what that...
They all ran bottom mid, yeah.
Yeah, but I saw teleport, and I'm like, what? I will not disagree with that, Kills in the Night. I will not disagree with that at all. Yeah, John, I installed it earlier as well. Ronin 4 is a crowd. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck yeah, John, I can't wait. You know who else can't wait for Destiny? Well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are you ready?
I don't see the option to update, so I'm hoping like Steam just did it for me.
If not, just like force close the application and reopen it. It should gather it for you.
Yeah.
All right. Did Dead Zone drop down for the melee? He was, if you go back and you watch it, he was sitting right around the corner of like the little, like when you're going up top mid and you're going into tower, he was sitting right around the corner, like next to that little barrier thing. Like he was ready for it. He was ready for whatever was going to happen there.
Yeah, I'm guessing someone came out a dummy door.
Yeah. Because he did get the melee kill.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Lumberquack, can I ask a somber question? You can ask whatever question you want. As long as it's respectful and civil, go for it. Feel free to ask your question, Lumberquack. Okay, so there you go. Those are the results of London. Congratulations to FaZe, back in championship form yet again. And my God, who knows what's going to happen for the rest of the year. Your top 6 for London secured pool play for Atlanta, and those respective seeds are the following. First is FaZe, second is Optic, third is Shopify, fourth is SSG, fifth is Quadrant, and sixth is Sentinels. So they have earned those seeds going into Atlanta. Your event award winners. Main Slayer is Suppressed of Shopify Rebellion. Best Objective is Legend of Space Station Gaming. Best Support is Glory of Quadrant. And Best Coach, like we've mentioned previously, is the first ever back-to-back winner, Best Man of Shopify Rebellion. Congratulations to all you gents. Will, if you recall, I had some questions I asked.
Yeah.
During our preview episode. I wanted to get back to those questions and see what answers were provided. Okay? But first, Lumberquack asks, how long do we think Matt on Optic has left? As I think we have as long as he wants to continue.
Yeah, he left COD to come to Halo because he wasn't having, or I shouldn't say having fun, but he wasn't enjoying the game, the grind, everything that was going on in COD. So as long as he's enjoying being on this Halo team, working with them, he's enjoying the game, it's all good.
That's a better question, Kills in the Night, but I'm not here to speculate. So yeah, well, I appreciate the question, Lumberquack. Just this goes for everybody. We're not here to speculate when people's careers are going to be done. That's up to their discretion. And yeah, Formal's got as much time as he wants left. Because he's still performing at an incredibly high level.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, like you said, as long as he's having fun with it, loving the teammates, loving the vibes, that's all that matters. He can play as long as he fucking wants to. And if a player wants to retire, or if a player wants to quit, or whatever they want to do, that's up to their discretion and more power to them. So questions I had before the event. How is Monster going to perform this time transitioning to mouse and keyboard? Well, I don't even fucking care about the statistics because the team didn't even make it out of open brackets. So there is that womp funkin' womp. Then the next question I had was, and this was a genuine question. I genuinely had this question because of what happened at Arlington. How are Complexity going to perform with Spartan still not at 100% in terms of health? Adding on top of that, the travel. Well, it didn't even fucking matter because Spartan tampered with official tournament hardware, resulting in the disqualification of Complexity from the tournament. So that answered that question. Another one I had, how much is the crowd going to be a factor for Into the Breach, Quadrant, and to an extent, Space Station? Well, I think for Into the Breach, obviously they got the short end of the stick in that pool. It's very unfortunate. Yeah. I think it did benefit Quadrant for a little bit. Not going to lie. And just like I said, it may have helped Quadrant a little bit. It may have hindered Space Station a little bit because they were getting booed like crazy. So, especially in that Quadrant series that they reverse swept them. So, sheesh. I had two more here. One was, are Shopify going to take that next step forward? And I think they did take a step. I do. I think they did take a step. Regardless on how I feel that Space Station was performing, the fact of the matter is Shopify did win that series, and they did what they needed to do to win that series. So I did think they took a little bit of a step up. I saw flashes of brilliance with that team. I genuinely did. I'm not kidding when I say that game one, that CTF on Forbidden will forever be ingrained in my brain as being a standout moment for that team. Now I just need to see it more consistently. If I can see them take that next step up, I'm so excited to see it because they definitely have what it takes to do it. And then the final question I had, Will, was how are FaZe going to bounce back? I did not predict them to win the event. That's on me. But they did. They bounced back in a major way. And they're part of the top three for a reason. There's a reason why we always have them in the top three. You can never count them out. Any given Sunday, they were dominant. So congratulations to them. Will, your thoughts before we move on to the community thoughts?
The questions, I mean, yeah, they all got answered at least.
No, your event thoughts as a whole.
Event thoughts? As always, gameplay was great. I know, I'm trying to pull this up real quick. I know a lot of people had questions about the venue.
Mm-hmm.
So we have heard from and talked to people in the industry that esports like outgrew what it should have during COVID and whatnot. Budgets are a problem with these major events costing more money than they bring in. I think Quadrant, an esports engine / HCS building a smaller stage, if whatever you want to call it, a platform, in a smaller room was most likely a money saver for the event. And we even saw like Adam Apicella, he mentioned in his tweets that things will need to change for esports to last.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a small intimate venue with players sitting across from each other is the start of this. It makes the community feel more connected. And, you know, we get to watch things like Darth Boo Boo force choke SSG before getting reverse swept.
One of the best moments of the tournament by far.
Yeah.
What's up, Sin? Welcome back.
From people being at the venue, like the players, spectators, I don't see the venue being as big of an issue. It's from the spectator at home side. The event looks underwhelming on a broadcast when we're used to like big stages, giant screens, big production, you know, even pyrotechnics sometimes.
Cream cannons.
Cream cannons. Well, we switched from real pyrotechnics to cream cannons at some point. But honestly, if this is what got the UK a major, I'm for it, you know?
Oh yeah.
And the problem with Halo has always been public perception, right? If we're not building the biggest stages and huge production, everyone's posting like Halo's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Happens all the fucking time.
If these smaller productions is what keeps Halo going, then it's what's needed, and I'm fine with it. If it's, you know, if it means we get more majors a year, because we have one more this year than we have any other year of HCS. So I don't know. I get it, but I get it from both sides. You know, it kind of sucks as a spectator because it doesn't feel as grand as we're used to. But from being able to actually put on an event, it was awesome, and the gameplay is still great. And that's really all I have. Besides, we already talked about the gameplay really by going over the reviews and whatnot, but the venue is the only thing I have to go off of as a spectator here.
Yeah. Before I get into one of the viewpoints from somebody who attended the event, yeah, you already talked about the venue layout and whatnot. Yeah, from the outside looking in, like if you're just spectating at home, you're like, this doesn't look anywhere near what an expectation for a major would be. So I just keep that in the back of my mind. But regardless, those that were there, like you said, will seem to enjoy it for the most part. Venue offerings. There were no installations for attendees to interact with. There was no HCS or other partnered organization merch available besides Quadrant and some Into the Breach jerseys, if I'm not mistaken. Now, granted, I don't put that as a complete negative. I don't like how there was no official HCS merch there. I think that's a fucking dumb thing that didn't happen. But I don't put a lot of blame on the other partnered organizations not having merch there, because we know how difficult it is for Quadrant to get merch in North America. Like, we understand how difficult it would have been for Navi at that time to get merch in North America. It's a nightmare. So it's okay. I understand. I'm not throwing shade at anybody's way because of that. And apparently there were only a few options for food to choose from, which is unfortunate. The other things that I wanted to mention here, there was that main stage delay at the beginning of day one that took literally 3 to 4 hours to resolve before the main stage match could start, which is very unfortunate. They had to move things around in the venue. They had to move series to different locations, like different stations and shit, just to keep the schedule moving. So that sucks. There were countless PC related issues throughout the weekend, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. Technical difficulties happen. You can never plan them. It sucks. And I said it before and I'll say it again. I hate people who say, don't they fucking test these beforehand? Because they do. They do test them beforehand. The problem is that when you're in the live environment and everybody's getting set up in the game, in the lobby and whatnot, and something happens, anything can happen. So you just have to fucking live with it. You got to work on it. You got to move on. And then there was an issue with the Twitch drops for those that were watching, spectating at home. And as a result, Halo Support put out a tweet today, and here's what that states. Due to issues affecting HCS London 2024 Twitch drops, players who met the requirements for any drop containing the Harvest Dust coating will be granted the coating on all armor cores. Stay tuned as we'll update here when this grant is complete. So there you go. Even if you watched and they just somehow didn't redeem themselves, then you should be able to get them. There you go. Want to shout out the crowd because the crowd was insane. Also want to shout out the band because the band was fucking insane. I throw shade at Arlington every chance I get. I throw shade at Optic every chance I get for them not having the fucking drum at both their Arlington events. It's their home fucking event. They have had it 2 years in a row. Both times they didn't have the fucking drum is insane to me. And Quadrant gets the first fucking EU LAN in a long ass time. And they're like, we're not stopping at drums. We're bringing fucking the mariachi band in this bitch. Like they killed it. They absolutely killed it. And then Will, like you had mentioned, that main stage. While I wish it was quote unquote better designed, like more higher up off the ground, you know, I mean, obviously those ceilings were low, so you got to do what you got to do. But like, you know what I mean? The fact that you did have both teams sitting across from each other, you had that more in your face, like trash talking and shit like that. It made it feel more, I don't know if grassroots is the right word, but it made it feel nostalgic in a way. And so that was really cool. You got to see the passion a lot. You got to see more passion from players that wouldn't necessarily do that.
Yeah.
Like we got to see Eco pop off. You never get to see Eco pop off. Like you never see that. So to see it from a player that doesn't necessarily do it all the time was just awesome. So yeah, would love to see that be kind of a mainstay for the future, if that could ever be a possibility. Thought it was a really, really cool thing. But I will say this too, because while we weren't there, we were just spectating at home. One of my worries did feel like it was kind of relevant, where they had this, like, if you're sitting in the front row towards the main stage, they had the corner screens. But if you were sitting like in the middle of that front row, it didn't look like, and again, we weren't there, but it didn't look like you could see those fucking screens. So hopefully, if we do have this where the teams are going to be facing each other on main stage, like they have better viewing opportunities for those that are actually at the event. That's what I'll say. Hardy with the gifted sub, you get a whoa! Thank you very much. And Ghostly, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the live show. Yeah, Sin, they didn't have the drum at both fucking events. It was so fucking stupid. Instincts, PC-related issues? How the turntables? I know, right? Crazy. All right. What instrument
should SSG have?
It's a good question. Trombone? Oh my God.
Saxophone.
You know what? Oh, that's a great one. You know what? Tyler, hear me out. Two things. One, footy pajamas. Two, if you want to go all out, why are we saying instrument? Why are we not using this in a plural? Get a fucking orchestra. Do it. Do it. Get a fucking orchestra.
Play Halo campaign music.
I mean that, or like just the like the movie trailer music that they're playing in like when these series start and shit like that, or like when teams, like the introduction for the teams and shit. I'm telling you. Get Hans Zimmer's ass out there. Homer says, when can we expect proper balancing in the sandbox and map design? Halo 7? Thanks. I don't know, man. I don't know. Ronan, this goes to Ronan, everybody. Like, he brings up Hans Zimmer. If anybody has not seen Hans Zimmer's rendition of like the Netflix Badum thing, go look it up on YouTube. It's incredible. It's genuinely incredible. It's one of my favorite things that exists. It's so good. Okay, so with that, Quake Murphy reached out to us on Twitter and provided his thoughts for the event. He attended London, as a matter of fact, and this is what he said. He says, I managed to get there after a drive that took 5 hours instead of 3, so the technical issue at the start of the tournament ended up working in my favor. That's one I thought that was kind of funny. So the TLDR, he says he absolutely loved it. He drove down there on his own and had an absolute blast meeting people and watching some great Halo in the fantastic atmosphere of the Passion Pit. Obviously most passionate in the SSG and Quadrant series. He says, so I'll start with the bad. The HCS did not want to take my money. There was not any HCS or Halo merch there in any way. I did find the Quadrant shop on the second day, and apparently ITB took over after a certain time, but that was it. I was hoping for HCS or some of the orgs to have booths, as the delivery from the States is normally more than the actual merch most of the time. I have to imagine it had something to do with space being a premium, which leads on to, obviously, their original plans for the venue when they first released tickets that ended up getting changed, so everything was a bit squeezed in, and I didn't find out that some of the rooms upstairs were being used for free play and open bracket until late on the Saturday. The layout was interesting and definitely led to the amazing atmosphere for the main stage, but splitting the rooms the way they did led to the side stage for SSG Quadrant being rammed, and there wasn't a soul in main stage, meaning the casters were basically in the larger room on their own. They must have booked the venue expecting the reduced number that sold out, and thankfully made changes to expand out, but hopefully we can get a better venue or setup if by some miracle we get another year of Infinite HCS. The food was pretty much the standard rip-off fare you expect for a stadium, but cut down. You expect it to be overpriced and shit, but I felt that every time I looked at someone this weekend, it cost me around €8, or pounds, 8 pounds. 8 pounds, not euros. And I was still starving. Pretty much it for the bad. Minor grumblings, really. Now for the good. Briggs says not even fish and chips. What the fuck? I was kind of surprised that they only had three options for food, but wow, Ronan. Awana Pops, welcome back. The good. The people. Everyone I met was nice to talk to. The pros were mostly open to talking if they weren't locked in, and the whole atmosphere was just fantastic. The cheering, the chants, and everyone coming together for Quadrant's run was one of the most fun experiences I've had for a long time. There was such a diverse array of people, too. Diehards and people just interested, older and younger, men and women. There was an old guy and his son that it turned out that he just brought his son and not the other way around, so the whole event had a brilliant community feel to it. The drum and trumpet, fairly common in football and rugby games, was was a brilliant touch, too, that got everyone into things right from the start. I'm hoping that I can take my girls with me if there is one when they're older, if they're interested. He talks about the Spartan situation, but then the SSG Quadrant series had a few people chanting that Spartan could beat Bound, and then everyone started to chant SSD, which was hilarious. That does sound fucking hilarious. The cost. The beer was reasonably priced, not well priced, but at £7, it could have been more of a ripoff, but given how into the whole thing I got, I may need to take out a small mortgage to cover it. At least the ticket was only £27. And then Blaze. Bit of a weird one, but I never knew how much stuff he does in the breaks with the crowd. Blaze is fucking amazing, by the way. He genuinely is. And then finally, he talks about how just wishing there was a better choice for the venue, but what are you going to do? So there you go. Warm beer or cold? Ronan, why do you ask such weird fucking questions? God, where's Verb when you need him? So, if you had been paying attention and been watching along, all the brackets, all the VODs for the games of the series, all the VODs of the games of the series of the tournament, everything's included in the show notes. ! Show notes in chat. Or if you're watching on YouTube or listening on your favorite audio podcast service, it's in the description. You can go check it out there. So yes, that includes all brackets, all VODs, the highlight videos that released after the fact. It's all there. It's all there. It's been 4 days in a row. I'm running out of interesting comments. That's a you problem. That sounds like a fucking you problem. EU showed they deserve at least one major per year. I just hope that if they do get another one for next year, whatever happens next year, if they get another one next year, I hope the venue's different. Because yes, while we heard that from if you're actually at the event, it wasn't as bad as what it looked like at home, I just want more for those that are attending anyway. This may sound harsh, but I don't mean it to be harsh. I'm just saying everybody deserves a little better. You know what I mean? That's all I want to get at. I want there to be even better experiences for those that are going to these events. And that goes for majors here as well. I don't think people understand because I haven't really said this on the show yet, but I am no pun intended, I am majorly skeptical of what FaZe is going to do for theirs. So it goes both ways. It's not just an EU thing. I want it to be better across the board. So Cook me a dog on the grill, Josh. I want a dog. I'll grill hot dogs and brats. Fuck yeah. Let's get it. Wasn't there supposed to be Mexico City Major at one point? Yeah, and that turned out to be Kansas City. As a matter of fact. Remember when the Pioneers thought that was a home event? LOL, dude. Lamau, dude. My God. Get out of here with that shit. All right. Moving on. That is it for HCS London post show. Hope you enjoyed the topic. What an unbelievable tournament in terms of gameplay that was on display. And congratulations to FaZe back on top yet again. I'm curious to see how Space Station bounced back for Atlanta. I'm excited to see what Shopify are able to do, if they're able to take that next step as well. It's exciting. It's fucking exciting. Play of the weekend. Oh, Optic. Slayer Livefire against Shopify. That was it. That was the play of the tournament by far.
100%.
Yeah. I don't think anything encapsulates that. Encapsulates. I don't think anything eclipses that. What the fuck am I talking about? You know what I mean? To me, that was the play of the tournament.
Yeah, it's tough because the observer was on Camo, because if Camo makes a play there and wins the game, then you don't want to miss that at all.
Exactly.
And
it was crazy that they were able to get it in the first place.
Yeah.
Will, you brought up the great point where when we were rewatching it, is that Lucid just turned around at the perfect time for Shopify to gather that.
Yep.
So
it also, it's the thing too that if Lucid doesn't get into Kedor there, he's dead, and then it's 49-49.
Yeah.
And Camo's grabbed.
Exactly. Like that, to me, that was the play of the tournament. Just the fact that the way everything had to work in Optic's favor to make that happen, and the timing on everything. That's fucking insane. We've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
So, yes, that CTF game was great too. There's so many great fucking games, but if we're talking about specific moments, that was the moment for me. All right. Go check out the after party streams on YouTube or your favorite podcast service if you want to listen to us talk even more about London for the past 3 nights of the tournament. They're all available. Check them out. But we are going to get to some regular news. Halo Infinite playlist update by Halo Support. The score multiplier for the Combat Workshop Survive the Undead playlist has been increased from 0.5x to 1.0x, meaning you'll get more personal score, which is cool. Rumble Pit is rotated out, and here's the next thing that sucks, is they won't provide any fucking information whatsoever on it. The Halo Infinite team is continuing to run experimental tunings within the Ranked Arena playlists. Please note that these changes may result in longer queue times. At least they said that part. Match Composer. It's finally releasing. For those who may not remember, I'm going to refresh your memory here. Back in January, if I'm not mistaken, there was a community stream that had taken place from 343 where Tashi had gone on the broadcast and said that with the release of Match Composer, the 2 additional ranked permanent playlists will be added to the game. Well, we had previously gotten the announcement of those 2 ranked playlists, but then we were waiting for the announcement of when or not the Match Composer would release. Have a great night, Ronan. Well, the time is now. Because on Tuesday, June 4th, a.k.a. tomorrow, because we record on Mondays, Match Composer is officially releasing. How is this going to work? This new matchmaking functionality allows players to choose a high-level playlist based on criteria like team composition, 4v4, BTB, FFA, etc., and then choose the specific modes you prefer to play. Husky Raid, Team Slayer, Team Snipers, etc. Originally, This is key here because this is going to be the difference between MCC and Infinite here. Originally, players would just be able to select Team Arena, which could end up putting you into any of the supported game modes within that playlist. I guess that's how Infinite works now. I'm sorry. Now you'll be able to compose your match experience from the start and only search and play the specific types of experiences you want to play within a playlist. You can compose parameters, I spit everywhere, and search one playlist at a time. Now for Infinite, at face value, Halo Infinite's matchmaking menus will look quite similar. You'll be presented with a list of available playlists, and if you select a Match Composer enabled playlist, denoted in the description, the next screen will then offer a list of all the available modes to choose from. By default, every mode option will be enabled to help expedite searching and get players into matches quickly, but players can select and deselect as few or as many as desired. So in MCC, when you're in MCC and you open up the social matchmaking menu, right, you'll have the ability to select like, oh, I want objective modes. I want just Slayer modes. I want precision Slayer modes only, or I want just regular Slayer modes with AR starts, whatever the fuck. There, you have those options available, and then you can choose each game that you want included. Okay? Where in Infinite, everything is playlist based. Okay? So you will select a social playlist, key there, social. You will select a social playlist that is denoted as being Match Composer enabled. Once you select that specific playlist, then you can dial things in further for what you want that is available within that playlist. Okay? One important note here is that selecting fewer options add more constraints to the matchmaking search parameters and can result in longer wait times. Who fucking cares? Blah, 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 blah. Playlist offerings. Most, but not all, of Halo Infinite's playlists will support Match Composer functionality when the feature is released on Tuesday. In general, most social playlists will have Match Composer options, but ranked will not. Here is the list of social Match Composer enabled playlists that will be available upon release. Tenrai 4, FFA, 8 players, Tenrai themed content, including new modes, as well as a new original community map, Hanami. It's available for a limited time. Quick Play, 4v4. All things 4v4, from Team Slayer to Husky Raid. Curate your preferred 4v4 experiences here. This playlist will include the majority of Halo Infinite's 4v4 social game modes and offers numerous different choices ranging from Mini Slayer to CTF to Dodgeball and more. Players who only want to play on community-created Forge maps can select the community version of a specific mode, i.e. Community Slayer. Okay? So again, from the sounds of this, Husky Raid will not have its own playlist anymore. It'll be included within the Quick Play playlist, which you can then narrow it down specifically for your Match Composer requests. Okay? So Will, you're going to have another little checkbox there to make sure you're only getting into Husky Raid if you want to.
Great.
Sounds so excited. Team doubles is 2v2, assorted games for teams of 2. Rumble Pit, FFA, 8 players, a mix of Slayer variants and other free-for-all modes. Infection, FFA, 12 players. Big Team Battle, 12v12 for those who prefer a bigger battle. You can curate between standard BTB, BTB heavies, and other variety BTB modes. Squad Battle. Mode choices include CTF, King of the Hill, Slayer, One Flag CTF, Land Grab, and Total Control. So now, at the very least, ladies and gentlemen, I can select the Squad Battle playlist, Will, and I can deselect One Flag CTF to know that I will never again have to play a fucking One Flag Zanzibar game in my goddamn life on this fucking game.
And no launch site either. Woo.
Oh, man. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Never have to play One Flag again. Never have to play launch site again. Oh, what a time to be alive. Firefight Legendary. Different modes on Legendary. Firefight Heroic. Different modes on Heroic. And Firefight Normal. different modes on normal. Each of the 3 Firefight playlists offer the same options: regular Firefight King of the Hill, Gruntpocalypse, or Gruntpocalypse Fiesta. But they are differentiated at the playlist level based on difficulty choice. Ranked playlists. To ensure Halo Infinite's ranked experience maintains the highest level of competitive integrity, these playlists will not support match composing. However, the consolidation that the match composer offers us on the social side means we're able to expand the core ranked playlists with this release to include Ranked Slayer and Ranked Doubles. And then again, Ranked Tactical will be the rotational. Woo.
Beth, no, I was just saying one flag. You can deselect one flag unlocked, so you won't get launch site one flag.
Oh, wait, that's actually a really good point. No, that's the thing, is that you can't, you're right, you cannot, I don't believe you can select individual maps to include. I think it's just core modes.
Yeah.
So you'll still get launch site, potentially, because that's a fucking 4v4 map. What an idiot decision that was. That's it for the regular news. I would say it's time for Got Games to Watch, but it's not. It's time for Will's Adventures of the Nailovers. Another game just for me, too. Will, what'd you play over the last week?
Been playing Infinite.
You don't say.
I don't think I hopped on X Defiant since the last show. I did. I guess I jumped into 2 Crucible games on Destiny 2.
Yeah, you did.
I got an exotic that I already had, so I was not happy. But yeah, just playing Infinite, still going for that career score. It's still a fucking grind.
What are you
Onyx
at now?
levels are insane. I don't remember. Onyx Lieutenant something grade 1.
God, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Knowing where you are and how much you play compared to me, I'll never get there. I will never get there. Goddamn. John says that need to raid and everything on D2.
Yeah. With the two new pups, my game time has been diminished a lot. And I know Destiny takes a lot of time up. So it's easy to jump on for like a game or 2 of Halo, where like a Destiny mission could take 30, 40 minutes, you know?
I will say I bought a shit ton of raid banners because, Will, I don't know if you knew this, and I apologize if I didn't mention this. Legendary shards are going away.
Oh yeah,
tomorrow. So they're going away completely, as in they're being completely removed from the game.
So I should have used them all.
Yeah. So I'm sorry if I didn't mention it.
That's fine. I'm just rolling. We're cool. We're fine. I'm not a min-maxer. I just play to have fun.
It's okay. I bought like 300 fucking raid banners. And I had more than that, but I didn't want to take all the space up my fucking inventory with raid banners. So
can I still launch Destiny 2 to do that right now?
No, the
maintenance already happened.
Yeah, and the maintenance. Well, the maintenance is happening right now. It's been taken offline for like 24 hours or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have John. I have 2 shards left because nothing was like even enough to get them down to 0. So yeah, I think I have 2 shards left. I could dismantle things to get it back, but I don't fucking care. Ashes to Ashes. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the live show.
Yeah. What have you been playing, Josh?
So I'm glad you said Infinite because it jogged my memory. I also played a little bit of Infinite. Played after one of the after party shows. We just ran around on the Forge maps that are going to be added to ranked at some point in time. So we ran around the Kali remake. I think the other one's called Fortress. We ran around that for a while and just like looking at angles, testing out a lot of G slides because for those who don't know, Coliseum, the amount of G slides people are going to be able to do on Kali is going to be insane. Like in fucking sane. You can zip and slide and dip and dive around that map like crazy. So have fun with that. Fortress, not so much. But after that, we just ran some fun FFA and stuff like that. John was an absolute goddamn menace with the plasma pistol on Beaver Creek. He was a menace. So you should have him tell you about that. That game was insane. And yeah, we played some like CHL stuff. So that was cool. That Chill Out remake is not very good though. You get stuck on geometry a lot. But no, it was a good time. It was a good time. Hey Josh, how about that snipe? Which one? Which one? That was the other thing. We had bandit sniper starts. So it was like I said, it was just wacky. Oh, the Quigley. Yeah, you did get a fucking Quigley. You did. I thought you almost got two. I know you got one, and that maybe it was somebody else that almost had one as well. It's just like fucking A. It was crazy. And then I'm also playing some Pokemon Black. I never played through the Black and White and Black and White 2 before. I modded my new Nintendo 3DS XL. Didn't realize how easy it is. It's really fucking easy. So I did that. Playing some Pokemon Black on it. It's a really good time. Love me some Pokemans. as my mom would used to say. Bart, that's what I hear. I hear Black and White are... I hear a lot of people say that Black and White and Black and White 2 are the pinnacle of the Pokemon franchise. I don't know if that's necessarily a hot take or not, but like I hear a lot of people say that Gen 5 is their favorite gen. And right now I'm having a great time. Having a great time. So, excited to keep playing that. That's all I played. Let's get into some shout-outs. Oh, fuck me. Mark the Walls. Is that the CE is the best Halo argument? No, because it's not. Moving on. Welcome back, Mark. Good to see you. First up, I want to give a very special shout out to everybody who had joined us during the after party streams over the past 3 days. To everybody that followed, that subbed, that lurked, that just hung out, that added to the conversation, that just joined us for those nights. Thank you very much. We really hope you enjoyed it. I kept saying it over and over again. We didn't know if we were going to do it. We didn't know what the time was going to look like for the tournament start and everything. But I'm really happy that we were able to do it. And thank you very much for joining us. And I said it before and I'll say it again. You can check them out. All the VODs are available on YouTube. We recorded the audio for them. That's on your favorite podcast service as well. Relive London through us. Relive London through the event. It's a great time. Hope you enjoyed. And thank you. Then, I want to give a shout out to everyone who followed and subbed during the live show. First up, we have Berserk, Simple's POV, Shapongle. Bean is not pro. Bean should be pro. Kabosh, Telicity, Kills in the Night, Boots, Ghostly, and Ashes to Ashes. Thank you all for the follows. Welcome to the live show. Greatly appreciated. Zig with the 5-month resub. Logan with the 8-month resub. My Two Lemons with the 5-month resub. Tom with the 5 gifted. Verb with the gifted. Tyler with the 5 gifted. Riz with the 5 gifted. John with the gifted. Beiji with the 5 gifted. Briggs with the 5 gifted. Tiger Tom with the 10 gifted. McPoobin with the 1 gifted. Ashley with the 5 gifted. Hardy with the 1 gifted. Thank you all for the fucking resubs and gifted subs. Holy shit. And Snag came in and dropped a bit earlier in the show. Thanks for the bit, Snag. Fuck you, Snag. Everybody gets a woo! Thank you so much. What's up, Daquan? Welcome back. Good to see you. And then, of course, how could we forget? Got to give a shout out to everyone who's a patron at the semi-pro and higher tiers. If you're a semi-pro, I mean, if you're at that pro or higher tier and you have not watched the most recent episode of Pro Talk Plays, you're missing out on one of the dumbest videos you've ever seen in your entire life.
That's great.
It's awful, but it's made all the better because of Will's editing that he added in there. So please check it out if you're able to. But seriously, shout out to everyone who's a patron at the semi-pro and higher tiers. That includes Hardy, Class, Bart, Blackout, Barnaby Jones, Remedy Boots, Head Honcho, Watsy, Dakota, Christian, D Pancakes, Ashley, Voodoo Man, Rostermonkey Jr., Ricky Der, Snagoo, Raider, Hater, Peanut, Mud, One Swole, Teddy Phantom, Riznak, Zarners, Abby Dam, Mr. Smiley, High Tech Redneck, Goalie Sniper, the only name ever rate falling the entire board. I did it in one breath. Fuck yeah, dude.
Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you very much for the extra support over on the Patreon. Community creations. Halo memes every day. Red.com/r/Halo memes. Go check it out. HRL Season 11 Top 5 Clips by the legendary C4. Go check that video out. The HCS London Major Primer by Shopify Rebellion. Check that video out. And then Tide the Leader released 2 episodes over the weekend. One for Miquin and one for Collect. Go check those out as well and show your support. I don't know if Sin is still here. Sin, if you're here still, when is the next episode of Ladies Night? I'm curious. Pancakes with the gifted sub. You get a whoa! Thank you very much for gifting a sub to King Julian. And if Sin's not here, that's okay too. But we want more Ladies Night. I want to shout it on the show. All right. Will.
Yeah.
We've made it. Technically night 4 in a row.
Yeah.
We are
insane.
Insane in the membrane. Got no brain. We've made it to the end of the show. Will, that leaves only one thing left to do, and that's for you to plug the show. So if you would do me a favor and do just that.
First off, are we raiding out tonight? If you were stick around.
I'm looking into it.
All right. I sent you a little Discord message.
Oh, I like Discord messages.
Oh,
absolutely, yes.
So as Josh mentioned, we have our Patreon. We do a little extra content over there. Audio show, video show, Q&A. Highest tier, we got like merch discounts, all that good stuff over there. Go check out the Patreon. And as always, you can find us on your favorite podcast services. Just search for HCS Pro Talk. We're on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, and others like Josh's favorite.
Pocket Cast. Still not an ad. Womp womp.
We do have a link tree, ! Link tree in chat, or it's on our Twitter, where you can find all the links to Discord, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the Twitch, TikTok, and the merch site. Go check out our link tree. And then if you go to hcsprotalk.com, we actually hosted over on a different site called haloevolved.co. Your home for Halo.
Your home for Halo. I'm sorry, I was trying to find the thing.
Oh, you're good. Because we podcast partnered with we podcast partnered. We partnered with the fine folks over at Podcast Evolved. Make sure to check out their great shows, such as Podcast Evolved, Mission Debrief, Halo TV Plus, Book Club, Build with Blocks, Halo Headlines, and Halo Gear Guide. Do it. And Josh, that's all I got for plugs. What do we got on the next episode?
There it is. On our next episode, ladies and gentlemen, if you pay attention to the number in the title, you may be thinking to yourself, wow, 342. I'm not really good at math, but what comes after 342? Oh, wait. It's 343. That's right. Our 343rd episode is next week. I'm still working on seeing if we can do something special for it. It's not confirmed yet, so I don't want to announce what that could potentially be. We'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, either way, it's going to be a fun time regardless because we just love doing this shit anyway. So stay tuned. 343rd episode. Goddamn. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go raid Gun Goddess. That's what we're going to go do. So stick around. Stick around for the raid. We're going to go raid Gun Goddess. It's going to be a great time. Thank you all so very much for joining us on this episode of HCS Pro Talk. We'll be back next week for our 343rd episode of the show.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely fucking ridiculous. All right. Hope you all have a great fucking night. We'll see you next week. But until then, I got to click a button.
Yeah, buttons.
And then another button.
And then more buttons.
And another button.
I'm going to stop waving now because it's taking too long.
if you notice the stalling, I'm looking for a specific button. Hey, chat.
Freak.
Yeah, chat. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
We'll see you next week. But until then.